Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, sir. What it do, what it don't, what it is, and what it ain't. It's your boy, Don Otaku, aka Don Solo, aka Solo the Don, aka Solo the Swaggy, aka the active turn-based Don. And of course, I am here with my co-host, Subeg, aka Subeg, aka the Green Thumb, aka the Gaming Gardener, aka what you got for me today?
Let's just do aka King Smoothie Bowl because I've been eating so many smoothie bowls, bruh.
That's what's up. And of course, Lognet's very own, and like I said, co-host of this fine podcast. But yeah, man, how you feeling, bro? How you been?
I mean, see, I'm not gonna talk about it, but they've been letting me down a little bit. Not gonna lie, so I've been it's been kind of tough, but outside of that though, I'm good. Just trying to grind, man. I feel like I'm in like that grind phase right now where it's like I'm not doing like story quests, you know, I'm not doing main quests, I'm not even doing side quests. I'm literally just farming enemies, bro. Like I feel like that's where I'm at right now, just trying to like level up. But yeah, you know, just going through the motions. Yeah, I'm good though. I actually have a bunch of notes written down. Can I actually go through them real quick?
Yeah,
Because I've been, you know, I'm not on social, so it's like I've been trying to like have more internalized thoughts and stuff like that. And so I've been watching a ton of Switch 2 coverage, right? Like I've been watching so many hands-on videos because I haven't gone hands-on with it. So I've been watching a ton of Switch 2 coverage, and I'm trying to choose like enthusiasts and then like casual consumers and then like non-gamers. Like that's kind of what I'm trying to like go through, and it's so like the duality between like the enthusiasts versus like the non-gamers is crazy. Like the enthusiast is like, oh, it's okay, you know, we got the Steam Deck now and the ROG Ally and all that, and then the non-gamers are like blown away by like the capabilities and like the mouse and all that. Like they're looking at like the intangibles almost. They're not just looking at it on paper, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, man. I'm seeing so like the duality in coverage for the Switch 2 is insane. But I was talking to my boy last night about it because he's a huge PC guy, and he was saying like Nintendo hasn't made like any innovative game in like 20 years, and I'm like, bro, like you play Genshin, right? And I was like, what is the clear inspiration for Genshin Impact, you know? And he was like, I don't know. I was like, it's Breath of the Wild, like straight up, like. And I was telling you, I was like, of course you wouldn't think that because you haven't had like a Nintendo console or haven't played those games in a minute, you know. So I was like, of course you're gonna think that they haven't, but it's like their ideas and their games trickle down to so many games too, you know. Like what's that game called? Demon Tides. Like that game is completely inspired by Mario Odyssey, you know. So it's like. It's just crazy. But so that was my one point that I had. But it's also funny that Nintendo is kind of like they are repeating many people's failures, you know? Like with the price tag, that's like the PS3, like that's kind of giving me PS3 energy. And then with like the mixed messaging, that's definitely giving me Xbox, you know, that's definitely giving me the Xbox and energy there. So it's like they're kind of like redoing it, but at the same time, they're gonna succeed redoing those people's failures. Like it's gonna be kind of funny. But
they're different. Yeah, I actually wrote an article about the Switch 2 and the messaging problem that it has.
Yeah,
and like even though I detailed like all of the things that they've done wrong when it comes to the messaging and how it compared to Xbox. And even like how to compare it to the Xbox One's launch and stuff like that. Literally at the end, I was just like, yeah, but the difference is that this is gonna be a compelling product with no real alternative, and that's why it's gonna succeed where the Xbox One failed.
Yeah, exactly. But everything put aside, I'm still so excited for that thing, dude. I'm so excited. Like I understand if you're. It's just crazy seeing Nintendo kind of focus on fidelity. You know, like I've never really seen that before from them.
That shit since the GameCube, we have not really heard them just talk about like pull out a game and be like, it's running at 4K 60,
yeah,
and it has
exactly.
a 1080p 120 hertz. I'm like, who is this? Mm-hmm. Like, what company is this?
Yeah,
because this is not my Nintendo, pun intended.
Yeah. But with their games though, it's like their game design is fine. Like they don't need to change that. They need to just do whatever they do and like improve however they see improvement. It's just the fidelity and the performance that needed the increase, you know? So it's like I'm excited, man. I really think that this device is gonna be crazy, you know. But that was my little Switch 2 thought. Oh, go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like I always said, the Switch 1 era, they perfected their games and their game design, their output, everything. They perfected everything related to their games. The technical prowess of the console, and then just the lack of basic features that the other consoles have, was really the only drawbacks of the Switch, and that's basically the only thing that they needed to improve. And that's exactly what they did. So
yeah, for sure. But yeah, outside like I would say I'm like an enthusiast if I would label myself, but I'm still excited for it. You know, it's nice to see, because I was even thinking for like a casual consumer that just plays like on their console and like has just like a TV, right? Now they would have 120 hertz, you know, and they would have the higher refresh rate like off rip, instead of needing to go buy like another monitor or something just because it's a handheld as well. So it's cool. It's a cool device, man. I'm excited to get my hands on it for sure. Another thing that I wanted to mention, this was kind of just like a thought that I had, but because we don't necessarily know like the money side of Game Pass, right? Like from the developer side is what I'm trying to say. It's like, do you think the Game Pass bag goes into the number of like the sales unit? Like, you think that number goes into that? It's like when a developer says like, oh, we've sold like 1 million and their game's on Game Pass. You think that bag like contributes to that like number?
No, because it depends, I guess. But when they say sold, they mean the not Game Pass. But if they say players, usually that includes Game Pass. If you're talking about Expedition 33, which I actually had a little topic for, they
you can save it if you want.
Yeah, they confirmed that it's sold, not including Game Pass. They said not including their awesome Game Pass subscribers as well, or Game Pass players as well.
For sure. Okay. Got it. Okay, interesting. So it's like it could, but for the most part, it's like it doesn't, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every now and then you might see someone say like sold, but then it'll have like the Game Pass numbers in there as well. But I haven't seen too many of that actually happen.
Got it. Okay. But yeah, so that was just one of my questions that I had. And then let's see. Another question actually that I had like with Game Pass. How many dev? Because you know there's been a lot of consolidation. There's been a lot of shutdowns, right? And a lot of people think that, or I wouldn't say a lot, but there is like a certain subsect of people that think that Game Pass is bad for the industry, right?
Mm-hmm. Which we just had a bunch of arguments about again. I don't know if you've seen, but that discourse was popping off again. That was also gonna be a topic.
Hella funny. My bad, my bad, my
No, you're
bad. I was
good.
just so my question for that was how many devs that have dropped on Game Pass consistently have shut down? Like that's a pretty interesting question, right? Because like I don't like off the top, like off rip, I can't think of that many. Like
Yeah.
maybe like Tango and shit, but like
I mean, you can't really
but
count
they're
them
back,
as
so yeah, like
because they really didn't release games at a steady cadence to begin with, and they did not start,
exactly.
or they only released one day one release on Game Pass,
Yeah,
and it
but
was
it's
a
like
shadow drop for a new IP, which
yeah, which is an interesting
like
decision, right?
it was definitely cool at the time. But then the more you think about like shadow dropping a new IP with no marketing is actually pretty wild.
Yeah, like in hindsight, it is. It's like, oh, the game didn't really do what we wanted. It's like, I mean, where was the anticipation? Where was the hype that was?
That's why
supposed to
like
be
the
built up
Oblivion
for it?
remaster that and the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, those are perfect because they already have a dedicated fan base.
Exactly. For
So, yeah.
sure. But yeah, it's like it's hard to think of that many, right? That have like shut down that
I know like if we're talking about devs that have like consistently dropped on Game Pass, what is their name? It's No More Robots is probably one of the biggest when it comes to indie studios because they drop every single
Descenders,
game.
guys.
Yeah, Descenders,
Okay.
Spirit
Gotcha.
Tea. They had a bunch of other games, but every game that they drop, they automatically put it on Game Pass ever since Descenders because they've seen so much success with it. And you always see, I don't know if he's the CEO or anything, but Mike Rose, who is one of the developers there, he is always, whenever this conversation comes up, Mike Rose is usually one of the first ones to come to the defense of Game Pass and then just talk about like he's broken down like everything with his deal with Game Pass and like why it makes sense for them and like how much it helped them when they were like they didn't know if they were going to make it past Descenders, and now they are like in a very healthy spot because of Game Pass. So it always comes down to it just depends on your situation. I feel like for most indies, it's like Game Pass is going to do more good than it's going to do harm. AAA obviously is just going to come down to your like a new IP like Kunitsugami. It makes sense to drop that in Game Pass because you need to build an audience for that, and especially for such a unique style of game in the first place. There was no guarantees that that game was gonna sell, and it really didn't sell outside of Game Pass either, according to Capcom. So at least that bag kind of gives them some leeway if it does end up not being a hit or even like a successful game.
Yeah, like a safety net. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like it protects them a little bit.
That's the same
right?
thing with like what's that new one? Control, the multiplayer game for Control, like FBC Firebreaker or whatever. Like Control 2 does not make sense to drop in Game Pass, probably. Because Control is a huge IP now after the first one, and a lot of people are anticipating that game. So dropping it in Game Pass is most likely just going to cannibalize sales that would have been there at launch, most likely. So for that, but the multiplayer game spin-off, which most Control fans are fans of single player games, and this being their first multiplayer game in a wait, did Remedy have anything to do with Max Payne 3, or was that completely Rockstar?
I think no, I don't think Remedy had anything to do with Max Payne 3, but they did help with that Crossfire X game though.
Oh yeah. Well, they only did the campaign
did
for
the
that.
Campaign,
So
the
they haven't done a
campaign
multiplayer game,
which was bad though.
Yeah, everything about that game was bad, bro.
Yeah.
So they haven't done anything multiplayer I don't think ever. Now that I'm thinking about it, because Max Payne 1 and 2 did not have multiplayer.
Yeah, so this is their first thing, and it's also launching on, I think, PlayStation Plus, right?
It might be. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then Blueprints also launched on PlayStation Plus too, but that's not even a multiplayer game.
Yeah, so it kind of like for that, especially in this like super competitive space when it comes to multiplayer games.
Yeah,
Game Pass makes sense for those. So I like when Take-Two says, "Oh, Game Pass doesn't work for us." I'm like, "Yeah, obviously."
like of course, yeah.
But like the people who take Two and like, "Yeah, Game Pass just doesn't work." Like every time they hear Strauss Zelnick say, "Oh, it doesn't work." Like, yeah,
of course he's
Game
gonna
Pass is
say
bad. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, it's not going to
exactly.
work for Take-Two. But yeah,
yeah, for sure. Okay,
I don't wanna go too
interesting,
deep
but it's like,
into
yeah, no worries. But then I just wanted to say, before we start the episode, we had a little Joust article, which is funny because that's what I wanted. That's exactly the outcome that I wanted for us to have. And I'm happy you did it. I read through your article a little bit. Definitely way more in depth than mine. I'll say that. But for mine, like I would say you kind of appealed more towards the logic, maybe I would say. But I was trying to appeal towards like the pathos or the emotion a little bit in mine. You know what I'm saying? But no, I get it though. You know, it's cool. I'm glad we did that though. But that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, that's it for my little notes.
what's up. But yeah, as far as everything else, you've been good. You've been
Yeah, of course.
yeah, man. As for myself, bro, I feel amazing. I feel great.
That's good.
And the reason I feel amazing and I feel great is because since the announcement, or like I guess the full reveal of the Switch 2, I've been basically like, I think I even said it on the show that I wasn't gonna get it day one, and that's been hurting my soul, bro.
Yeah.
And like ever since I saw the Switch 2, and then like we've been doing all this coverage for it, and I'm just like, bro, every week it would just hurt. Be like, I'm already in love with the Switch 2, and I just know that everyone's gonna be playing it, and I'm gonna be Squidward staring out the window, and that shit was killing me, bro. But literally the day before the pre-orders, I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this shit, bro.
Yeah.
And I made a decision that would make it financially viable for me to get one. And that was trading in my PS5.
So that's hella funny we're bringing it up. I didn't think you were gonna bring it up.
Yeah, I had to do it.
Sacrifices were made.
It was an easy sacrifice, honestly, because I've not touched it since Astrobot, and the only one that's gonna hurt is Sorrows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the one that's gonna kill me, bro. But yeah, got my Switch 2 pre-ordered from GameStop. Pro controller, freak off camera, and Rune Factory.
Stand. Yeah.
Rune Factory Guardians of Ozma, which we might actually be getting a review code, so I might not put down that $70 for that. So, you know, yeah, I'm super excited now. Like, it's all good now. I feel amazing.
That's
just
good.
knowing that June 5th comes around, I'm gonna have my Switch 2 in hand, and it's gonna be beautiful. Also, fuck GameStop because they fucked me over when I was trading in my PS5 because I had dropped my PS5 controller a couple of times and there were some scuffs on it. They wouldn't take it, and I had to. They took off $60 from the trade-in value, so
Damn.
they can eat a dick for that one. But other than that, it was still a pretty good deal. I got 300 and something back, trading in the PS5. Did you know the trade-in value for the Series X is actually like $80 higher than the PS5?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a better console. No, I'm just kidding. That's interesting. Is it like GameStop also does that thing where they give like a percentage bonus, right? If you have like their membership or something.
So I did sign up for the Pro, which ended up like giving me more money back than what it costs for the year. So I was like, cool.
Got it.
Whatever.
Hopefully GameStop's still around for that year that you signed up for.
I mean, with the Switch 2, they're gonna be around for a little bit. They got a shot in the arm, that's for sure. Because there were, bro, when I say the GameStop was popping.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah, I waited in line. So they had 81 Switches, Switch 2 pre-orders at my store. 51 of the Mario Kart bundle, 30 of the like base model with no bundle. So and I've seen that a lot, that the bundle is higher. So they're definitely pushing the bundle. They're not trying to push people into buying the $80 Mario Kart. Obviously. So yeah, but like when I got there, like I got to the GameStop like an hour and 30 minutes before opening, and I was like 15th in line.
Okay.
So I was like, oh yeah, it's a wrap. I'm getting that shit. Like there's no way I'm not gonna be able to get it with the number of people there. By the time
you could literally just physically count each person.
Yeah, exactly. By the time that the store, like 10 minutes before the store opened, bro, there was over 100 people in that line. I was like, yeah, some of these people are not getting this shit, bro. I was like, and this was like the sketchiest GameStop. I was like these people came over here knowing that this is a sketchy ass GameStop to be at for this pre-order. Like it was that serious.
Hey, that sketchy GameStop had almost 100 though. That's crazy,
bro. It was hilarious because we were all lined up, and then somebody just like I think they went to get Wingstop, which was next door, and then he came and was like, hey, what y'all lining up for? And you're like, oh yeah, it's the Switch 2 pre-order is going right now, and there's still space, like there's still enough, like there's gonna be enough left if you get in line right now. You're like, bro, that was today? He's like, oh shit, I'm working right now. You like, and then he was just like, fuck it. And then he got in line. He called his manager. He's like, yeah, my car broke down. I cannot make it to work. I was like, damn. So yeah, the Switch 2 is serious out here, bro.
Hey, okay. I have a little Switch 2 story too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it was literally that day that we recorded last week's episode, right? It was that Wednesday. So literally right after our episode ended, I got up, I went to GameStop just to see what was happening, and the lady, she was okay. She wasn't like, I could tell she wasn't really a gamer though, which was funny. But she kind of gave me some information about like how the GameStops in my area are doing it. There's like, I want to say there's like 6 GameStops in my city, so there's a lot of GameStops here. But she told me she had the list of every single store and how many they had for both the bundle and the just by itself. And yeah, I definitely Nintendo is pushing the bundle so they can say that Mario Kart has sold like a lot more, you know. I'm trying to say like it's gonna be, because it's like it's pretty much gonna be like for every console that's sold, it's gonna be a Mario Kart unit sold with it. So it's like,
I mean,
like that. It's gonna be
honestly,
crazy just off rip.
honestly, I think I don't even think the 449 model should even exist.
You don't think so?
I feel like they should have just had the 499 bundle and that's it. But
Mm.
maybe I'm not an expert in this shit, but I just feel like
Nah, I like the two SKU the two bundle thing, because then whenever the next big game that they want to like sell with the console, then they could just bundle it with it.
yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean like at launch. Obviously, like down the road, you don't have to have Mario Kart with it.
Yeah, I got you. I think they also probably did that just because they could say that the MSRP is $449 and not $500. That's probably also why. Well, I hello. Okay, so I went to GameStop and then I came straight back home because she said that the pre-orders open tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, because we live on the West Coast, so for us the online pre-orders opened at 9 p.m. And at this point it was like around like 7ish, 8ish. So I was just kind of chilling, just waiting for it. And then when like a little bit like before 9 happened, I just kind of signed into all my I signed into like Walmart, Target, Best Buy. Those are my 3 that I was trying to get. And historically, I've never actually done Walmart before. I usually just do Target and Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I do GameStop, but I don't like buying from them actually, like online. I'd rather just buy from them in person if I could.
I tried to do the GameStop online just because I was like, I don't feel like waiting in line. That shit was a nightmare.
Garbage. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So I had all 3 of them open, and I even had them on my phone too. So I was in the queues. Okay, so Target didn't have a queue. It was just you just refresh the page at 9 and they were just there. Best Buy, it just said coming soon or like sold out until like 9:30, and then it was like you can join the queue. So for Best Buys, it was like it was like a queue system, and then Walmart's was also a queue system, and you can get in line for both. You can get in line for both the bundle and just the console by itself. So I was in like 4 lines on 2 different devices, and then I was just trying to get it on Target on both of those devices as well. And Target, it just didn't let me get it. Like I would have it in my cart, I would use the Apple Pay, and then when I like double tap the thing, it was like address is wrong or something. It was like incorrect address, or address is like not completely finished or something. So it just kept on giving me errors. And then even when I fixed it, and then it would be like, oh, payment declined or payment not accepted. So then I switched to my PC on Target, and then the same thing was happening. It was like the address was wrong, payments incorrect, payment declined, some bullshit.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, I just gave up on Target because I was like, this is not worth my time. And then so I was just sitting there, just chilling, just literally waiting for the Best Buy and the Walmart. Seeing the queue, just literally just chilling there. And then in Best Buy, it just refreshed the page and it told me to sign back in. And I was like, oh God. I was like, did they just fuck me over? So I did it, right? I signed back in. It sent me the code because I had the 2FA. And I got in, and it was like, switch 2's in my cart. I got 10 minutes. To pre-order that shit. I was like, let's go. So like, I was like, let's go. I was hella happy. And then I did it real quick, put in the thing. I got the pre-order. It was good. Literally the second after I tapped pre-order and like it went through on Best Buy, my Walmart was like, boom, switch 2. It's in your cart. You got 10 minutes to pre-order it. And then I was literally looking like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I texted my girl. I was like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And then and then like, I didn't even wait for her to respond. I just placed it. and then I just told her, I was like, I just did it. And then, after a certain point, I was like, I don't want to sell this thing. I was like, this thing's going to be valuable. I was like, I just offered it to her. So then she wanted it. So I was like, okay, let's go. So I got 2 pre-orders, but I do have if she doesn't want it, I kind of want to go to like those like, I forgot what they're called, but those like sneaker con people that do like the coin flips for sneakers, like, cause I know some of them buy like anything. And I kind of want to do like a coin flip for it. Like I could give it to you for $550 or like $1K. and like do a coin flip for it. So I might do that. I might do that. We'll see. But if not, I'm okay with keeping 2 Switches. But for now, I got 2 pre-orders, and I'm chilling. I know I got 2 Switches on me, and I pre-ordered the Pro controller as well. But that shit's hella expensive. Yeah, that shit was like almost $100. That's the only
thing. I was like, I'm still debating if I'm gonna get it. Like, I want it. Really, the only thing that makes me want it is that it has the C button. Yeah, and the headphone jack, because my this is my Pro controller, my 8-bit Do Ultimate, and literally the only thing missing is that C button, and I guess the headphone jack.
Just a regular one.
Yeah, I don't. But after I bought 2 of them and they both drifted, I stopped buying Nintendo Pro controllers, and I went to 8-bit Do. Never looked back.
For sure. I'm really only getting it because it has the headphone jack on it. So yeah, that's literally the only reason why, bro. That's the only reason why I'm getting it.
The headphone jack and the C button. That's literally the only thing, and I'm like $85 for that. And then
plus tax. Well, you don't have tax, huh?
Yeah, no tax over here. But 8-bit Do just dropped their Ultimate 2. And it got the glow-in rings on the sticks, kind of like the Switch 2. Okay. And I was like, damn, bro. That shit looking kind of fire, not gonna lie.
It's wireless?
Wireless. Compatible with the Switch. 1 and 2.
8-bit Do Pro 2?
And it has the TMR analogs instead of Hall Effect. Like,
wait, are we looking at the same product here?
Let me see if I can pull that up. And the fact that it came out and then it went on sale for like $50, like immediately. So it's the 8-bit.
Oh, and it has the back paddles.
Yeah, it has the back buttons and everything.
Oh, and it has like actual like triggers. Hold up, I might cancel my.
So I might cancel for $60, you get a real. Bro, does it have a headphone jack? Let me look. So this is. Oh yeah, so they don't have a Switch specific one yet.
Oh, okay.
So this one is only for Windows and Android, but technically you can put the USB in the Switch's dock and you can play it that way. But
okay,
if you let's see, because the Ultimate, like the original Ultimate has a Switch version. Let me see, do they have Ultimate 2 Switch?
Oh my god. Bro, the Joy-Con 2s are $94.99.
Yeah, okay, they do have the Switch version. Yeah, the Switch version is $70. I'll link it to you.
That's ridiculous.
What'd you say?
Okay, yeah. I said, the Joy-Con 2s are $94.99, bro. That's literally gonna be $100.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Nintendo is out of their minds. That's hella funny. Yeah,
Honestly, I'm probably. I feel like that's more worth it than the Pro controller at $85.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh no, bruh. The Joy-Cons don't have a headphone jack though.
I mean, the what's it called does though. If you get the grip, it has a headphone jack and back pedals.
Oh, okay. Oh, they don't give the grip with the console anymore?
It does, but you gotta get the charging one.
Oh, that one has a headphone jack?
Yeah, that one has a headphone jack and back pedals.
All right, I should probably get that instead, to be honest. Wait, so this one that you linked me works on the Switch too?
Yeah, so this one is the Switch version of the Pro 2. And you can put the triggers. Actually, I'm gonna share my screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Ooh. So this one, you can actually lock the triggers to be more like the Switch's, just like the Switch's what do they call it? Like it's just a tactile trigger.
Yeah, it's just a click,
Versus
yeah, it's
the like adaptive trigger that has like what do they call it? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Analog triggers. So you can switch between analog and tactile depending on the game, which is cool. And I still need to see if this bitch got a headphone jack. That's really the only thing.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. They're not even showing the bottom of that bitch. I'm guessing it don't, because they would have said something if it did. And they got I just realized they have another bumper called R4. Kind of like my Xbox Wolverine controller has that extra bumper on the top. That should be getting in the way, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah. Okay, I'm guessing no headphone jack, because I haven't seen anything that says that it does have it. It also doesn't have a C button. Or does it? It has an extra button there, so maybe that's the C? Maybe. So yeah. No, it says that's a turbo function. Alright. Anyways, off track. What the hell were we talking about before? Why is my...
I hella for the Switch 2 pre-orders.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, I got those Switch 2s, so we'll have fun. I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm excited. And it launches on that's a Thursday, right? June 5th.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If that's a Thursday.
That shit off. I need to.
That's a Thursday. I'll have it off.
Go on my fucking schedule. Make sure that I'm off that day. Cause I'm not going in for at least 2-3 days after that shit come out. But yeah, that's our Switch 2 stories. But let's talk about some games that we are playing right now. So what have you been up to as far as gaming goes?
Yeah, so I haven't been playing too much, but I did complete South of Midnight after last week's episode. I completed South of Midnight. I didn't go for the full 1000 because I was looking at the achievement list, and it's like you have to defeat the bosses without getting hit, and then you have to collect everything in the stages. So it's pretty much like I had to play the game again. So there's so many games out, so it's kind of like I didn't really feel like doing all that. And like the game doesn't really give you like a easy way to track like what you've collected and what you haven't. So it's like all the tin flips and all that stuff and all the floofs. I think that's the collectible that you can gather in the thing that levels up Hazel, or that gives you like experience to like level up her abilities. So I didn't ended up going for the 1000, but I did complete it. I beat the game all the way through. It was good. I liked it. I feel like the ending was a tad bit rushed. It felt like it kind of just ends and especially the final boss. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, but I felt like the final boss wasn't really a boss like how the other bosses in the game. So there's 4 bosses if you're considering like the health bars to deplete on top and like the name of the boss, but 3 out of 4 of them are actual bosses, and then the last one is kind of just like multiple battle arenas. I'll just say that. But I thought the game was still good though. I enjoyed my time with it. I thought the platforming was the best like aspect of it. Like it felt really tight, and I liked the animations. Like when Hazel like jumps up and she like lands, like her animations feel like they have a lot of weight to them. So I like that. I think if they do continue on with like this style of game and with battle arenas, I would like for them to add more to like the combat in terms of like lean more into the character action of the combat instead of like the boots on the ground, like how it is.
Yeah.
Like do more air combos or like have more finishers in the game and stuff like that. Like I'm looking for that stuff if they're continuing to lean more into the combat style. But I think for platforming and stuff, I think they should do more of that. Maybe they should do like a 3D platformer. That'd be cool. But I enjoyed my time with it. And then after that, I kind of had like a little palate cleanse with a game called Mullet Magic. Have you heard of this game?
Yes.
So it launched on Game Pass a couple months ago. I don't know if that was the first time it launched, or it might have launched earlier on PC.
Believe
maybe.
If it wasn't, I believe it was the first time it released as a 1.0.
Got it. Okay, for sure. Okay, so that's sick. Nice. So for anyone that's listening, Mullet Magic is this kind of like a roguelite. See, I don't know the fucking distinction between the two terms,
Bro,
but it's one of those.
The fact that I was writing my review for this game, Nova Drift, and I had to, like, when I was writing, I was like, this is an indie roguelite. I had to go on the fucking Steam page, like, roguelite. That's it.
Yeah, cause I think one of them is like, you have some things that carry over into your runs, and then the other one is like you have nothing that carries over, right? I think that's the distinction between roguelike and roguelite, but roguelike and roguelite, I need to say it because it sounds literally the same when you're saying it fast. But so in this game, you're going through floors and you start off with 10 seconds. So you got like it's kind of like you got 10 seconds to beat the stage, but it's more like every kill you get, it adds on to your like how many seconds you have. And it's just this like hyper fast kind of like first person shooter action game where it's just you're just trying to get through the floors. And then it's also like old school, like it's kind of like retro in the aesthetics. But
yeah, it's like,
so you have
has that boomer shooter feel.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boomer shooter with like a roguelike and stuff like that. But I beat the game in like 2 hours. Like it was super short, and I got like 800 achievement points for doing it. So it was kind of just like this game that I just kind of played because it was on Game Pass, and I actually enjoyed it just to have a little palate cleanser to get into like the bigger games that I've been playing. But yeah, the game was actually fun though, because there's multiple different weapons. Every time you complete a floor, you can pick between like a power up and like one thing. It could be like your bullets getting ricochet, or it could be like every kill you get adds 1 more second to your timer, or it can be like a different gun or a different weapon, like a samurai sword or like a shotgun or something. But it was fun though. I enjoyed it. It was super short, like literally completed in like 2 hours. But yeah, outside of that, of course, Expeditions 33. I played like 2 hours of it. I got through the intro. I'm now like on the like island, I think is what it's called. Yeah. But
we actually have a topic, so we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, for sure. But outside of that, yeah, those 3 are really it. Well, I beat 2, so now I'm on Expeditions, and I might end up going back to like Assassin's Creed, maybe Avowed, something like that. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing.
That's what's up. As for myself, as you can see on the screen, me dying a lot, playing Nova Drift, which finally writing the review. I was actually writing it right before the show. So I'm planning on having my rough draft done by tonight, and hopefully after getting some feedback, releasing it tomorrow.
That's hella funny because I'm actually writing a review right now too. I was doing that before too. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, so just to give my review before the review, this game is pretty cool. Like, it's definitely unique in the sense of it trying to do this classic style of game but modernizing it in a roguelite fashion. And it works really well doing that. But also, like, it's definitely a very classic arcade experience. But at the same time, like, for that, making it cool, it also kind of holds it back on in its like potential. One of my biggest nitpicks is that there is no global leaderboard. No global leaderboard whatsoever. So your scores that you get at the end of each run, you're only pitting them against your last score, which I find very weird in 2025. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me that you end the run and you can't compare to like the rest of the players. So I felt like that was a missed opportunity. I feel like that would easily get a bunch of people like playing even more, trying to get the highest score that they can in the different modes. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty big missed opportunity. But it felt like every time I got sick of this game, every time I was like, I feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I would unlock something that would be a game changer, and then it would reinvigorate my playthrough again. I'm like, oh, hold on, this is something. So there's a couple of unlocks that you like as you keep doing runs, you basically, there are two types of unlocks. There are the unlocks for like gear and mods, but then there's also unlocks for the modifiers for the difficulty and other things like that. So whenever you start a new run, you'll have these modifiers or like checkboxes that you can put onto it, and most of the time it's going to make your game a lot more difficult, but also it'll give you more, it'll put a multiplier on your score and like your XP. So you'll level up faster, which you'll end up getting more more mods and more gear and stuff so you'll end up being stronger by the end of it. But obviously the enemies will come in bigger droves, they'll be stronger, they'll take longer to kill. So that's at first that was like the only thing kind of keeping you going. It's like, oh, I'm making it more difficult. Like, I beat it the first time, I beat the final boss, so I'm like, okay, I'm putting on these modifiers. Like, it's more difficult now, but I'm getting more power-ups by the end. It's like, I don't know if this is gonna keep my attention, or like I have to play it. So I'm like not enjoying it. And then they hit you with one of these unlocks that replaces the bosses with a new slate of bosses. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like the new bosses, they're like cool. Like they're way different from the ones that you fought before. So that was like, oh shit. Okay, like then I was like, yeah, now I'm back in. Like, okay, so fighting all of these new bosses, and then I finally learned all of them, cleared all the bosses. Okay, yeah, now it's back. Like, yeah, now I've done all the new set of bosses. What can they really get me with? I've done it all. And like every time I was like, okay, I'm about to start writing my review. I've done everything, even though I haven't unlocked everything. I feel like there's not much else. Then boom, the wild metamorphosis mode was unlocked. That added like 50 more types of gear and mods that were way more, like they call them the wild mods or something like that. Those added a crazy amount of customization to your builds, and like the abilities that you get were way crazier than the normal ones. And I was like, yo. So then I was back in again. I was like, oh shit, they got me. Like, so so it's like every time I felt like I'm starting to get tired of this, I've already done everything, boom, they would add something else. So that's really the reason that it's been taking me so long to get this fucking review out, because every time I felt like I was done, they would pull out a game changer that would bring me right back in. So yeah, this game, is it's definitely not for everyone. I wouldn't even recommend it for every roguelite fan. It definitely is for a niche. But the things that it does good, it does really good. The gameplay feels really good. It's really tight. The enemy designs are pretty cool, and it feels like the difficulty is pretty perfect. Like it never just feels like there's this huge spike and you just get killed by bullshit. It's always your fault usually.
Okay.
So I love that about it, but yeah, this game it's not the most recommendable. But if you love this, like the classic space shooters, and you love, I mean, even like the if you like shmups, I think you would also enjoy this game as well. So I'm giving it. I still really haven't decided my score, but it's definitely.
Yeah, wait. Let's wait.
Yeah,
Let's wait until you put your review up.
But yeah,
it's called Nova
Drift.
Prime. Nova Drift.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good game though. It's a really well put together game. Besides just a few nitpicks.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's see, what else have I been? Oh yeah. So a big one for me came out yesterday. A game that I've been waiting for because for whatever reason Xbox decided that I wasn't worthy to play this game before them bastard Steam players. And that is Towerborn. Stoic and Xbox Game Publishing have been counting their days for, what was it, like 8 months ago that they did this? Like 6 to 8 months. When they put this game on Steam before Game Pass users were able to play it through Windows stores or on Xbox. But they finally redeemed themselves and released it on Game Pass with crossplay and a slew of other updates, a new season, all of this new content and stuff. And this has been one of my most anticipated games since before we even knew it was called Towerborn. Ever since Jez Corden leaked Project Belfry and said it was a like beat 'em up with this like grand scope, like a Destiny style scope made by Stoic Games, who made the Banner Saga trilogy, I was like, yeah, bro, that's a day one. And when we finally got to see it at the Xbox Showcase 2023, I think it was, I was like, yeah, bro, it got Castle Crashers with Destiny scope. Oh yeah, I'm in there. So like literally has been waiting for this game for fucking ever, and it's finally here, and got a chance to play it. Did not play the Steam version at all because I was literally boycotting that shit. Like, so this is the real release. This is the first early access launch, and it was me, Bitta, Mars, and Ace. And then later Ace dropped out, and there was Chuck who replaced him. So yeah, surprisingly, okay. Chuck is playing something that isn't Valorant or Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So we were on this last night, and yeah, bro, it is definitely living up to the expectations so far.
Okay.
From the jump, combat feels nice. It feels good, and you can feel the weightiness of the attacks, and then the combos. You get some mix-ups with the X and Y. Love that already. The worst thing in the world is having light attacks and heavy attacks, but they have no kind of mix-ups when you do both of them. Like when you interchange between them. But this one delivers on that. There's a dodge button, and you can do attacks if you do like. So the character I've been using is the dual dagger class. And also, okay, so let me start from the beginning. So the character customization is actually really good. Even though it's not super in depth, like you're not gonna be like changing the mold of your face and all types of shit. But they give you a lot of options as far as your face, hair, different makeups, everything. And like once we were done, like everybody looked distinctly different, which was cool. Shout out to Spitta's character. Like when I saw him, I just wanted to punch him in the face. I don't know why. He just had an aggravating character to look at. But yeah, so from the jump, you create your character. You go through the little tutorial. They teach you all the attacks and stuff, how to dodge, jumps, all of that. So, but even in the tutorial, they don't teach you everything, because there is still some things that you learn on your own, which I like. So some of the things that they don't teach you is like, if you dodge and then attack right away, you'll do a special move where it dodges attacks and does an attack at the same time. So mine as a dual dagger user is I'll do a sliding kick. And if someone tries to attack me, like their attacks will go over me while I am in the middle of the attack, which is cool. But also, if you delay it, so if you do a dodge and you delay a little bit and then press X, you'll do this little like cartwheel, and you like hit with both of your swords afterwards. So there's a lot of stuff that they don't teach you that is actually pretty helpful. Like they don't even teach you like that you can interchange the X and Y combos to do different, more powerful combos. So you learn a lot of it just by playing. And then this is an RPG, so as you level up, you do unlock skills. The skill tree, I mean, it's not the most robust skill tree ever, but there's a lot of abilities to unlock for each weapon. And you can change your class at any time, but you only level up the class that you're playing with, obviously. So you can be like a level 10 Shadow Striker, which is the dual dagger class, and still be level 1, what do they call it? Like stone breakers, which are the fists. And then whenever you want to like go level up the stone breakers, you can always just go back to some of the previous levels, and they are procedurally generated. So even if you play the same level, it will be completely different every time you play that level. So I thought that was pretty cool. It gives, so if like I'm playing with the guys, and if I want to play this game solo, but I don't want to like progress super far ahead of them, I can just be like, okay, I'm gonna level up my other weapons by doing these other missions that are procedurally generated, and I can just like farm building up these weapons instead of like progressing the story, so we can all stay together. So I thought that was a pretty good way of handling that. But yeah, combat wise, this game's a lot of fun. The story, not even paying any attention to that shit, which coming from Stoic, like the Banner Saga series has an amazing story, amazing characters, amazing writing. So like this just felt like it just felt like some Saturday morning cartoon shit, and it didn't feel like anything was pertinent enough for me to actually care about what they're saying. There's also no voice acting, so for the most part I'm just skipping through and kind of just glazing over the words just enough to know what my next objective is, and that's about it. So yeah, story, nothing to write home about. You're not coming there for that at all. Hopefully that changes maybe down the line. Not that I really care if the story in this game is great or not. It's really about the gameplay for me. But yeah, the gameplay they do a really good job with. So that's, let's see, I'm trying to think anything else. The like social aspects of it. So just like Destiny with the tower, they have the belfry, and then you'll see all of the players there. They're all doing stuff, and you pass by them. You can look at their profiles. You can invite them to your party. And then when you go out onto the map, so they have like an overworld map, and you can actually walk around that map. And you'll see all the players on the map too, and they'll be trying to start up a mission, and you can seamlessly join, like matchmake with people trying to do the same mission as you, or you can just do it solo and just run it by yourself. So when you're not playing with friends, you can just easily matchmake with others. So that's also a pretty good thing. Everything is seamless, which is the best part about this. From joining your friends to like the progression of everybody, it's never like, oh, it never feels like you, like a lot of games don't handle progression with co-op really well, but this one actually does a really good job with all of that, and it just feels natural and seamless. So yeah, shout out to Stoic, shout out to Towerborn. They did a really good job. We only played about 2 hours or so of this game, so I've been itching to get back to it since though.
Okay.
And what else have I been playing? Actually that's it for this week. I am missing Rematch though, I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see the clips of Rematch, I'm like, bro, I need that back in my life.
It'll come out soon.
Bro, it's coming out in June. I just realized, like, they need
Switch
to drop
2?
that Switch 2.
We're not gonna have no time to
drop
play
that
it.
shit. Drop that Rematch on Switch 2, bruh.
No Game Pass though.
Yeah.
Drop Game Pass on Switch 2.
Bro, drop Game. Hey, if Game Pass ever comes to the Switch 2, just know that my PC and my Xbox, well, you will not hear me saying got it on my PC and my Xbox. It's gonna be on the Switch 2 only. I'll tell you that right now. If I could play every Game Pass game on the Switch 2, it's a wrap for my Xbox and my PC. So yeah.
Nintendo would never let that happen.
Hey,
but
man.
maybe one day.
Hey man, we saw the switch in Phil's background. We still don't know what that was for.
Imagine that's the big announcement at the showcase. They're like, y'all know that Switch 2, right? No. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, Rematch for sure. I actually have Towerborn downloaded. I was thinking, I was like, damn, maybe I could play a little bit, but I don't even have a USB-C cable plugged into my PC right now, so I can't play shit.
Bro, it's crazy that I've had my article pending since 10 a.m. and it's 4 p.m. and no one has
smoke? We throwing smoke? Nah. Well, I think well, I mean, it's 7 p.m. over there because most of the editors are East Coast.
Yeah. You know,
except for
I usually am like, okay, I'm gonna wait for Arcade to get off work I know he off work. I know he off work.
They tired of you, bruh.
Bro, I put out 3
No,
articles yesterday. They were like, "Yeah, we gonna fuck that guy."
No, I think they're just probably busy. You'll probably get someone there to check it out for in a little bit. It'll probably be Mahmoud today. That's my prediction.
But yeah, let's actually talk about Claire Obscure.
Claire Obscure.
For the tweet. That was terrible. I feel like I was racist.
That was funny
that
as
racist?
fuck.
I think that was racist, actually. It's okay. I'm a Ubisoft fan. I can get away with it. Shout out to the French. Excuse my French also. All right, for real though. Let's talk Expedition 33. So we talked about it yesterday. What the fuck? Talked about it last week, but that was before we played it. Now we have gotten a chance to play it, and yeah, bro. All right, first, I don't even want to talk about the game or the gameplay or anything first. The first thing I want to talk about, bro, is the fucking title screen music, bro. Alicia by Lorien Gustard or something like that. I forgot his last name, I ain't gonna lie. Alicia is the song that plays in the title, bro. I cannot boot this game up without listening to that fucking song. That shit is peak. His Lorien Testard, something like that. That, bro, that shit is peak. When I was talking about how, was that on here? When I was talking about Western games don't.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, bro. From the jump, that fucking song was just like, yeah, bro. They cooked with this soundtrack. I can already tell. And you just get into the game and you hear the Lumiere song, and it's just like, bro. The sound, like, I was talking about the soundtrack before I even heard the actual songs, and they like the first few songs that you hear are already iconic tracks. So, and then the soundtrack is supposed to be like I think it said like it was 8 hours of music in the soundtrack for a 30-hour game. So yeah, it's about to go down. So shout out to Lorien Testard. I'm fucking up his name, I already know it. But yeah, I just had to shout out the music first. But you said you played about 2 hours. I think I've played about 4, so we're still at the beginning. Also, like, when I was playing Nova Drift for review, is the fact that I just wanted to play Expedition 33, but I had to play this game was negatively impacting my fun with Nova Drift. I was like, man, why am I stuck playing this bullshit when I could be playing Expedition 33 right now? But yeah, tell me your impressions so far.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I feel like a lot of people will probably be floored with the intro, especially if you like sad storytelling. Like it starts off very sad, like, and the premise is like depressing as fuck. But yeah, man, I'm super intrigued by it. The thing that I don't really, this is probably my modern gaming sensibilities. There doesn't seem to be like a waypoint, I guess you would say.
Oh yeah.
You kind of gotta figure out where you gotta go.
Definitely classic JRPG in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I'm enjoying it, dude. I literally go into every fight, every enemy I see, I try to fight them. And and I'm so bad at the parries, bro. Like
Bruh.
the parry timing is so it's like it's almost like I don't even know it. Like, and I've already fought like so many people, but it's like
So
definitely working more on the dodges right now than the parries for sure. But go ahead. What were you
shout
gonna
out to BG Broken Games HDR because
Okay.
he actually gave advice that helped me out. And what he said was, he said, unlike most games with a parry system, in this game you have to wait until they hit you to parry. So I kept, because like I'm doing Sekiro timing, like right before it hits you. But in this game, it's when it hits you that you hit the parry button. So as soon as the hit lands, that's when you're supposed to parry, not right before.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So that ever since then, my parry timing has been way better. So shout out to Broken Games for that one. But yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually, yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna definitely see, because my parry timing is awful. So, I'm definitely way better at dodging than parrying right now. But I am super enjoying it. I love active turn-based combat. I wish because if you just do like a regular attack, there's no like button prompt for it. It just kind of does it. I kind of wish they had the button prompt even for the regular attacks as well. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying it, man. I love active turn based. You know, we don't get enough of these, so for sure, I'm loving it. But I don't have too much to say in terms of, because I haven't even got to the overworld yet, so that's probably a little bit off, ways off. So
yeah, you're not early. Too far from it if you've put in 2 hours already.
Okay, so I'm close. Okay, that's sick, because I really want to see how it looks like, because it was in the Dev Direct, right? That they showed. Yeah, because when they showed that off, I thought that was super cool. But I've even played it on my PC and my Xbox, so I've tried it out on both. On PC, I noticed that when I had it uncapped, I was getting a lot more like stutters and stuff like that. So I capped it at 60, 4K. I think it's either on very high or ultra. And I'm using DLSS on balanced, I think, and I'm getting locked 60 FPS at it. So, and when I locked it, all like the stuttering issues, like for the most part, they went away. So I did that on the PC end, and then on the Xbox, I'm playing it on performance. And yeah, it's a 60 FPS. I could see like there's a lot of shimmering in the backgrounds, like when you look at like the foliage and the flora and fauna and all that, like. And even at like some of the textures on the ground, there's a ton of shimmering there. But outside of that, it's not too bad. It definitely looks more like, I want to say, if I were to just guess in performance mode, I would say it's like 900p upscaled to 1440p. If not that, then it's probably 1080p upscaled. So that's where I'm at with there. But it looks good though.
Yeah. So my first, the first thing I played it on was actually Cloud. On my phone, because I was in the middle of work. The game came out late last night or in the morning, one of those things, and I was like, I don't want to wait until I'm off play this. So I hooked up my Kishi to my phone, and I was playing the intro part of the game, which was good because it was a lot of dialogue and less about the battles.
Exposition.
And the opening, if you talk to like all the people, it's probably like 45 minutes to an hour, but if you just skip past it, it's like 20 minutes. But I talked to as many people as I could just to learn more about the world and learn the characters and everything, and highly recommend talking to everyone, because that fleshes out this world so much, especially because you get to learn how everyone copes differently with the gomage, which is the what the paintress does when she counts down a number and all the people of that age disappear.
Yeah.
And the writing from the jump is so good. I feel like they couldn't have handled it any better in terms of the dialogue and writing, because everything feels so natural, even in this super abnormal world where like the paintress, like everyone's getting ready for the paintress to perform another gamage where everyone at the age 33 will disappear from the world. But you see how you can tell that it's been going on for a long time and that it's just a part of life, because at the beginning you meet Gustav and Mael, and like Mael's talking to Gustav about, why am I forgetting her name? The one who dies.
Yeah, the one that gets blipped.
Yeah, so obviously his Gustav's love interest, if you've watched any of the trailers, you see that she gets gamaged. But like Mael's asking Gustav, or she's asking Gustav if he's gonna give, I'm forgetting her name. It's like Sydney or something. I don't know. I just made that up. Give her a rose, and then he's like, well, he's like, oh, I probably should give her the rose before she disappears. And then like Mael laughs, but then she's like, oh wait, and then she's like, well, you're the one who said it. Like, like, is the fact that they're joking about this, knowing like she's about to die, but it's also because this is just a natural thing that has been going on for so long that people are joking about it, because, and you see everyone's like different reactions to it. Like, you'll see some of the kids who are crying and they're devastated that their parents are about to die. But then there are the other kids who are like, they've accepted it already and they're like happy, or not like not happy that they're their parents, but they're already
like content.
Yeah, they're content. They're like, oh, we're going to the orphanage. Cool, okay. Like, I'll be with the other kids at the orphanage, and you know, mom and dad are gonna disappear. But that's just how, like, and the more people you talk to, the like, you just get such a great sense of Lumiere, of this world that they live in. And Sophie, what's her name? Sophie? I think her name is
I'll look
Sophie.
it up for you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm gonna call her Sophie for right now. But you actually play as Sophie, the love interest of Gustav, before she gets gamaged. I don't even think I'm saying that right. I think it is that. But you play as her and you're talking to some of the townsfolk, and she meets this woman who she obviously has a history with. And the woman is like, what, like, I see that you still haven't had kids. Like, how could you not leave? Like, why aren't you building a future like all of us other women who have kids? Like, you should be doing your duty. Like, that's a part of, like, that's your duty to do that, to leave kids behind, to continue, I don't know, like, basically you're like, you're
for hope for humanity. Yeah, I got you. And her name is Sophie, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, so it was Sophie.
Yeah.
But Sophie's like, I don't want to bring children into this world and have them like live with this.
Yeah.
So you see how everyone has their own way of like viewing the painters, viewing, and there was even a cult, like a cult kind of following where they turned the painters into a religion, and the painters is the good guy and the humans are the ones that are bad, and the Paintress is saving them by like Gumaj. So like, bro, they
Pretty deep, yeah.
they killed it in that intro sequence. From like just talking to everyone from the jump, I was already invested in everything. I was like, yes, this is the type of writing and storytelling that I like to see in a video game.
Yeah.
So they hooked me from the jump, story wise. Then you practice, you do some practice battles in Lumiere before you actually set off on the expedition, and you get a feel for the active turn-based combat, and you can already tell it's like, yeah, bro, we getting some. Then there's a secret fight that you've probably seen it online, but I just won't spoil it just because you fight this fucking creep in Lumiere before the expedition. I don't know if you saw it. If you,
I fought it because I got an achievement for it.
Yeah, you get an achievement for it, and that's what, like, your first real battle, because they kind of help you with the timing when you practice against Mael, but you actually get a chance to see if your timing is really good or not once you fight that fucking creep. And yeah, that's when you get a feel for the combat, and it's really good. So right then and there, like when I was playing on Makishi's side, I played all the way up until the expedition was gonna set. When you're doing the farewell party right before the expedition. So I played all of that on my phone. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna start the next section until I'm off of work, and I'm gonna play on my PC. So then that's when we started the expedition, and then that happened. And then it was like, oh damn, that's how we doing this, aren't we? And yeah, bro, this, you know, I don't blaze stories when it comes to video games often. This one is one of them ones for sure. So now I'm on the island where the Paintress is. We've set out on the expedition, and the world just beautiful. And there are definitely some aspects where it's not like oh, you know, so some of it doesn't look the best when you get close up, but like the art style carries in those instances. And then the skyboxes are amazing. Like, just looking up, you have a lot of screenshot worthy moments when you're going through this world. It's a beautiful ass world that they built. This game also is a little Souls-like, which I wasn't expecting, with the, not torches, but like they have the flags with the expedition flags, and even like you'll find some of these secret bosses that will wipe the floor with you, and you can fight them. Like if you know how to parry well enough, you can definitely beat them. You have to parry every single shot. You can't get hit once. But it has that Souls-like feel, like an Elden Ring, where you have the choice to beat the Golden Sentinel at the beginning, or you can come back when you're stronger and then beat them. That's how I felt with this, where I was like, oh. And this was after I got to the overworld. Once I got to the overworld, I got to this point where I was like, yeah, this I don't think I'm supposed to be here, but I'm gonna keep fighting him until I beat him. I didn't beat him, no, I ain't gonna lie. I walked away after like the 10th win.
Okay.
So yeah, this game is amazing, bro. And the reviews are definitely, like, just from what I've played so far, the reviews are matching how I feel about the game. But the real reason I wanted to talk about this game is because some of these motherfuckers just been taking it a little too far online. And as Lord Hater, this now I gotta like, as much as I love this game, I gotta put it down. I gotta put it in its place just a little bit, because I seen a little, like, people online are acting a little too wild with this. They're glazing
it.
So you can tell who plays a lot of RPGs and who doesn't. And you can tell the people who are like turn-based aficionados, turn-based gods, as I like to call myself. Because you see all of these guys over here like, man, with the release of Expedition 33, this could be the start of turn-based games making a comeback. Bitch, where the fuck have you been? Metaphor came out last year, bro. In 2023, Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year. Where the fuck are these people coming out with this? Oh man, turn-based games are making a return with Expedition 33. That shit is pissing me off. And you see it everywhere. And then you just see them with 50,000 likes because these fuck niggas never played any turn-based games since what, Final Fantasy X or some shit. And they're over here talking about, yeah, this is what all turn-based games are back with Expedition 33. Like, I definitely say Expedition 33 is the turn-based game for people who don't like turn-based games. Active turn-based is way more engaging for the average player than like Metaphors, just regular turn-based. You hit a command and you watch it happen, and like that's the end of it. But at the same time, like people are acting like this is the most revolutionary thing ever. And you know, you see my background for my camera. I have Super Mario RPG because I gotta show them where the roots of all of this started. Okay, yes, this game's amazing and it handles the active turn-based combat really well. But we not gonna act like this is the first game to ever do it. To the point that I wrote an entire article on the evolution of active turn-based RPGs, starting with Super Mario RPG back in 1996. Who was the originators of this shit? Nintendo. Nintendo saw Square and was like, yeah, that Final Fantasy shit, it's hot, it's cool. That turn-based, you know, we fuck with it. We got Pokemon over here, they doing something with it too. But you know what'll make it better? If it had some reactions and active elements to it. And then Nintendo was the ones who pioneered active turn-based combat. And for 30 years since, they have been doing that style with every Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, every RPG in the Mario universe has had active turn-based combat. You see these motherfuckers playing that game? All these motherfuckers glazing this combat. Where they ain't played a single Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi game, as you can obviously tell. But even then, bro, Sea of Stars did this shit in 2023. Yakuza Like a Dragon has amazing active turn-based combat as well. Where was they at when those games came out? And then I'm never gonna disrespect the GOAT, Legend of Dragoon. So, like, this game deserves all the praise, and I would even go as far to say that this is the front runner for Game of the Year. But I'm not gonna let all these people just come out here and just start disrespecting turn-based games like they've been doing. Like, praise Expedition 33 for being Expedition 33. Don't start trying to talk about a genre that you obviously have not, you haven't been looking for. And now that this has come out, you over here like, man, turn-based games really fell off until this one. Like, yeah, we not doing that shit. So that's my rant on like the Twitter discourse with Expedition 33. But yeah, man, Expedition 33 is up there, bro. Not gonna lie. But I'm guessing you missed all of that because you haven't been on social media.
Yeah, I mean, I know people are excited about like it being like a turn-based game and stuff like that, but yeah, there's like Metaphor was nominated for Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate, you said, won Game of the Year. I feel like there's always like if not like maybe like turn-based, but like something like even freaking Unicorn Overlord, even though that's not like turn-based, you know, but like stuff like that. The Octopath games.
Dragon Quest has always been there. Always been a
Dragon
staple.
Quest, Persona, Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, there's definitely
Pokemon.
Bro, that like Pokemon, biggest gaming franchise. And every year, every 1 to 2 years, we get a Pokemon game, but somehow turn-based games have just been non-existent.
Yeah.
But they're like the turn-based games that you can tell only like the turn-based games that only the casuals fuck with. And it's Persona 5, it's Metaphor, it's Expedition 33 and Baldur's Gate, and then obviously Pokemon. But like, go outside of that, turn-based games do not exist, even though we probably get like a new really good turn-based game every 2 to 3 months that is an obscure Japanese title that a lot of people who aren't in the know will not know about.
Yeah. Or even like a Western game, like something like Chained Echoes or something, you know?
And what was it? Warhammer Dark Sector? No. What is it called? It was Rogue Trader. That's also a really good one that people slept on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Or even
like Solasta 2 is about to be a good one.
2.
Yeah, Solasta 2 is coming out. That's gonna be a really good RPG turn-based. Even Gears Tactics, that shit was fire. Like,
yeah, Gears Tactics.
We got Star Wars Zero Company coming out, a Star Wars XCOM style game. Like, please don't. If you don't play turn-based games on the regular, don't start talking about turn-based games after playing Expedition 33. Don't piss me off. So yeah. That's my rant.
Okay.
But I wholeheartedly recommend Expedition 33 to anyone and everyone, regardless if you like turn-based or not. it's if the game doesn't hook you from the beginning in the first 2 hours, it probably not gonna be for you. But I guarantee that intro sequence might be enough to get almost anyone. And then my girl has been watching me play. Like every time I want to play, she's like, "Oh, are you gonna like?" Every time we're like talking, she's always like, "Are you gonna play Expedition 33 today?" Because like she saw that game and was like, "Yeah, this seems like a good like she was like enjoying just watching it." So this game is it's gonna go down as a great, like, easily. I just need to finish I need to finish Nova Drift, and then I need to play RuneScape Dragon Wilds. And then put my like early access impressions on that, and then I'm gonna go full force into Expedition 33. Speaking of, I'm surprised. Like there are code requests that I'm super surprised that no one's picking up, like Wu Chang. I thought people would be all over that.
You gotta think that there's really only like,
yeah. Then I remember how many
like 6 of us that are even like somewhat active.
Yeah.
As in like just writers. If that, honestly. I would take more, but like now that I have my like little Switch slate, I kind of am like just wanting to focus on that because it's a lot of games, you know. So I'm I think that there is one next month that I might pick up. Blades of Fire.
I'm hoping that I'm gonna ask for a game. I'm not gonna say it, but
okay.
I'm gonna see if we can get a code for a game that I've been anticipating.
Is it rematch?
No, not rematch. It's actually, well, I'll just say it's Date Everything, which
okay.
You know me and my dating sims, but
yeah.
I want to date the toilet, bro. I want to date the fridge.
This fucking guy.
I want to get a code to review that. So yeah, that's Expedition 33. Oh well, just to talk a little bit more on Expedition 33, it did pass a sales milestone, which we kind of talked about earlier, but 2 million sold, not including Game Pass subscribers. That is really good for a new IP, turn-based RPG. And this is the first game from Sandfall Entertainment as well, or Interactive as well. So, and then if they end up winning Game of the Year, I think it'll be the first time a debut game has won Game of the Year, if I'm remembering correctly. So that would actually be a pretty fire. Like if that happens at the end of the year, that'll be a pretty big moment. All right. Anything you wanted to add about Expedition 33 before we move on to some quick news?
Other than did they announce a movie for it, right?
Oh yeah. So we got confirmation about the movie for Expedition 33, which was announced that they were doing a movie for it before it even came out. But yeah, they are going all in now. After after the success of the game, they're like, oh yeah, we need to move this shit up. So
yeah. So, I was gonna say, definitely 100% get Robert Pattinson. Exactly. Yeah, definitely 100% get Robert Pattinson.
Or just get Charlie Cox. Like he's already the voice actor.
Okay, yeah, or
like
yeah, for sure.
Either or, both of them are gonna be excellent choices for Gustav. But yeah, man, that movie, I shouldn't say that because they could easily fuck it up. If you can fuck up Uncharted, you can fuck up anything. Uncharted was already a fucking movie, and they butchered it. So yeah, I'm gonna look forward to that. Hopefully, I need to see who picked up the script for that. I need A24 to be on that, not no fucking WB or some shit. All right, so let's get into some of our quicker topics. We talked a little bit about this game last week, but let's talk even more about The Outer Worlds 2, because IGN first content for The Outer Worlds 2 has continued, and last week they talked about combat, and yeah, the avowed inspirations are there. So they're introducing parkour mechanics, including the climb, vault, and slide.
Okay.
Let's fucking go, cause bro, that shit in Avowed is so good.
It is, yeah.
And now that we gonna have guns and being able to do that, like, if anything, I want them to go like full Titanfall. I want to be running on walls and doing like, that's where I want Titanfall in a Fallout style RPG. Like, if you give me that, bro, that's my game of the year every year. So introducing the parkour mechanics, basically lifted from Avowed, which you can tell that Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 are kind of like cousins. Just from the early trailers that we saw of both of them, you can see the elements of each kind of bleeding into each other, which is a good thing. It's literally like how Fallout 3 and Skyrim, or like Fallout 3 and Skyrim, how they kind of, you can see all of the elements that they learned from Fallout and they add them into Skyrim. And then from Skyrim to Fallout 4, that's just how it has always been. So I love that. Enemies now employ advanced tactics, including taking cover and using grenades. That is definitely a big step up from Outer Worlds, where they kind of just stood there and shot at you. Obsidian focused on making weapons feel satisfying from the start, while also integrating RPG mechanics that enhance gunplay based on player stats and skills. Encourages various playstyles by offering light, medium, and heavy armor options. Removal of level scaling. Enemies have static stats throughout the game, allowing for self-challenging gameplay where players can revisit earlier locations with improved gear. Hell yeah. That's how Avowed was, and it was great because of that. So I'm glad that they also did that for the Outer Worlds. I think all RPGs need to get rid of level scaling. And am I crazy in saying that?
No, I'm with you actually, because it's annoying. That's like I want to go back to this old place and just demolish the enemies, you know, and I want to go to like places where the enemies have challenge. So I'm with you.
And then players can use new gadgets during combat, like tactical time dilation and shields. And there will be difficulty settings going from story mode all the way to very hard. Range combat is prioritized, but melee options will be available as well. So that is shout out to Clobril. This was his roundup of the IGN first. Probably should have played the actual video in the background. So yeah, but from what you just heard about it, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
This shit loud. But yeah, I was already excited, so it's not like I'm like saying anything crazy by saying, oh yeah, bro, this shit's, now I'm like super excited. But I was already pretty excited for this game, just based off my time with Avowed, and then just uh, like how that's gonna translate to Outer Worlds 2. I'm like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I do think Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be a bigger scale and scope than Avowed was. So that kind of has me a little bit more excited, even though I think I like the setting of Avowed more.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I'm definitely more of a Fallout guy than an Elder Scrolls guy.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, Avowed, I think it's just because how I felt about Outer Worlds 1. I thought it was all right, but it wasn't like, I wasn't crazy about it. So Avowed being this fantasy game from them kind of stood out to me more than Outer Worlds 2. But the more I see of Outer Worlds 2, I'm like, okay, this feels more like the game I wanted Outer Worlds 1 to be. And that's why now I'm getting pretty excited about it. But yeah, any other thoughts on Outer Worlds?
Nah, other than just the Xbox is killing it, dude. They're absolutely killing it. I'm looking at some of the gameplay right now. I'll say the gunplay kinda a little bit, tad bit, looking a little bit like Destiny to me,
bro.
to be honest.
I think they actually put a Destiny clip in there. I think they actually might have said that they like looked at Destiny as a kind of benchmark.
Okay.
So that should get you excited, if anything.
Yeah. Okay.
You're botting just a little bit, but
Oh no.
I think it's like on and off, so it should be fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it did. When I was just watching it, it did remind me a little bit of Destiny, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, gameplay wise. Okay.
All right. But yeah, let's get. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get into some of our other quick news. Let's talk Breath of the Wild. Because I don't know if you saw this, but someone at the Switch 2 experience in Tokyo beat Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2 in under 15 minutes.
Wow, okay.
So a speedrunner known as Ikabose went to the Switch 2 experience and became the first person outside of Nintendo developers, most likely, to ever beat Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2. He speed ran the game and beat it in 15 minutes. So shout out to Ikabose. He a legend for that one.
Yeah, that's sick.
Speaking of sales milestones, another amazing game that was completely overlooked just reached 2 million players. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. So although this studio, or I shouldn't say the studio, but this team over at Ubisoft was disbanded, they are still celebrating this milestone. So they said, well over 2 million players by now. You've revived the legend. The prince is back, and believe us, he's just warming up. So definitely cryptic. I don't know if that means that the team may be working on another Lost Crown style Prince of Persia, or if they're just talking about the Prince of Persia remake that is supposed to be coming anytime soon. But either way, I'm just happy that it's getting some kind of recognition.
Yeah, okay. 2 million, huh?
Yep.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Now they do say players, so that could include the subscriptions from Ubisoft Plus, but I still don't think that it's I think it's definitely, as far as sales, well over 1 million sales. Like I don't think it's like Game Pass, where if you see 4 million players, it's probably like 500,000 sales. It's most likely over 1 million, and then it's probably 50-50 for most Ubisoft games, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, one of my favorite games of, what was it, 2023, I think, is finally coming to PlayStation and Xbox. TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Splintered Fate, the roguelike adventure from the TMNT franchise that was exclusively on Apple Arcade, and then it went exclusively onto Nintendo Switch, and then it went to Steam, and now it's finally coming to PlayStation and Xbox. But they are adding a new DLC that adds Casey Jones as a playable character. So probably gonna hop into that game again just to play the Casey Jones DLC. But not only that, physical editions are coming August 26th on all platforms, including Xbox, surprisingly. All platforms will be getting a physical edition. And it also comes with some digital cards, and they have a collector's edition as well that comes with a bunch of stuff. So yeah, this game is actually, they're putting a lot into this game. I'm hoping that they don't stop with the updates. I want them to, like, obviously this wasn't an early access game, but I want them to treat it like a live service and just keep on updating it, keep on adding characters, more story to it. Like once you beat Shredder, just add another DLC story on top of it, because I love this game. So this is probably the best TMNT game that we have gotten since Shredder's Revenge. But going even before that, I would say since the which one was it? Since the TMNT 2003 games on the GameCube and PS2.
Okay.
But yeah, Shredder's Revenge. I almost forgot about that one, not gonna lie. But yeah, any interest in this game now that it's on more platforms?
Did they announce it's on Game Pass or not?
I was waiting for it, because they were like, there's a big surprise at the end. I was like, oh, it's coming to Game Pass? No Game Pass.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I like because it's a multiplayer. It's kind of like Windblown in a sense, right?
Yeah,
or Windblown and Hades mixed. Okay, yeah.
It's definitely like it. It's literally just TMNT Hades. Like the Hades influence is 100% there, and not in the sense that it's just a roguelike. Because a lot of people were like, oh, every roguelike is Hades because that's like the most popular one. No, like they literally looked at Hades and said, we're gonna take all of that and just put the TMNT skin on it. From like from like the dialogue when the enemies kill you, and then like when you go back to the base, you kind of talk about what happened. And they like give you strategies for beating them the next time. Like it's just Hades with a TMNT skin, which is great, because Hades, if you're gonna like use any roguelike as inspiration, Hades is definitely one of the ones that you should. My biggest gripe was always just the slow progression when it comes to like getting stuff that you can carry forward and building up stats. It felt like they were really stingy about that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I might not pick it up like day one, but I'm interested in it. It looks fun.
Yeah. Oh damn! I just thought about it. I can boot that up on my Switch too. and that shit gonna be looking crispy because it runs at a dynamic frame rate resolution. Sorry, not frame rate, but it has a dynamic resolution, and you can tell because when you're at the base, it's like way crispier than once you get into the actual gameplay. So if they just unlock that and then unlock the frame rate, yeah, bro, it's gonna be crispy. All right. Speaking of the Switch, I have an article that should be coming out anytime now, about this, but the Switch is getting its final big update before the Switch 2. And that is Switch Update 20.0.0. And this one will introduce virtual game cards, game share. It will include user verification settings, online license settings, multiple save data transfer, so you don't have to do it one by one anymore, and system transfer to Nintendo Switch 2 is now added under the system settings. So I actually wrote an article because I went through all of the change logs and everything for this update, and there was actually some interesting tidbits in this one that a lot of people missed. Oh, it's scheduled.
Nice, let's go.
I guess somebody finally got around to it. So, with the virtual game cards, we already talked about this before, but it'll basically it will treat your digital games like a physical game. You can eject the virtual game card and you can send it to a friend locally, if they are on your family plan. But then once you connect those switches for the first time, you can send it through online as well. So yeah, mostly this is going to be more for like if you have multiple switches in your house rather than game sharing. But it can be used for that as well when it comes to lending the game to a friend. So the game share actually had a little catch that they didn't really say when it was first introduced. But when you look at the way that they showed it, it kind of, you're like, oh, I guess they kind of did. They just didn't like specifically say it. And that is that game share can only be initiated from a Switch 2. So if someone has a Switch 1 and they want to share a game with another Switch 1 or a Switch 2, they can't game share.
Oh man.
So only the Switch 2 can initiate the game share. Any other Switch device can receive the game share.
Okay.
But only the Switch 2 can initiate it. And I was like, ain't no fucking way. So we're getting this update, right? Today. For our Switch 1s. For game share. Can't use it.
That sucks.
Can't use it.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, this the shit that people should be like outraged about.
Like up in arms about,
yeah. Not the fucking bullshit I keep seeing people raging about online. So I thought that was really dumb. Like once we have Switch 2s, it really won't be a thing, but it's still like, oh, what if like Spitta did an upgrade on June 5th and he has Big Booty Banjo Bash, and I want to game share Big Booty Banjo Bash with him, and you know he tries to initiate the game and like, nah, you can't sit in that game share of Big Banjo's Booty Bash to solo because you on a Switch 1. That's some bullshit.
That's hella funny.
So,
yeah. Damn, dude, Nintendo. What's going on?
And I know that's them trying to be like, yeah, you want to share your games, you better get your ass on that Switch too. But yeah, that's some bullshit for sure. So you definitely getting a strike for that one, Nintendo. When I saw that in the article, I had to reread it a few times just to make sure I'm not like misreading it like some of these people do and then misreporting it. But no, that was the case. So there was that. But yeah, so they added the system transfer to Switch 2, which will come in handy when you're trading in your Switch or whatever. You want to transfer all of your games, your saves, your settings, all of that will be even like your Wi-Fi will be transferred as well. So you don't even got to worry about putting in the Wi-Fi afterwards. Perfect. All through local communication. But if you were to sell your Switch today and you don't have your Switch to you don't have your Switch to do the transfer when the Switch 2 comes out, there is an alternative where you can upload the data to a dedicated server and it'll factory reset your Switch 1. But then when the Switch 2 comes out, you can download all of that onto the Switch 2. So I thought that was a really good that was a really good feature that they added. And to the people who traded in their Switches to put it towards the Switch 2 at the pre-orders, RIP, because that feature did not exist until literally 6 days after pre-orders went up. So yeah, there was also some quality of life improvements, including now you can transfer multiple save datas, so you don't have to do it one by one. So that's going to be great if you're transferring specific save datas over. You will also you can actually add security to the virtual game cards, whether it's a PIN or your Nintendo account sign in, so someone can't just grab your Switch and then take a game, like take one of your digital games and then just dip.
Like fucking airdrop it or something. Funny.
And supposedly, also you can actually just virtual card DLC as well. So if someone wants like the Mario Kart DLC, but they already own Mario Kart, you can just send them DLC only. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And then they are also refreshing the home screen to be more like the Switch 2's home screen, including changing up the eShop and news icons to match what you see on the Switch 2's home screen. And they updated the icons, the player avatars. Some of them have been updated, including Donkey Kong, who is now no longer the rare version of Donkey Kong. He is now the Donkey Kong Bonanza Donkey Kong. So they're just erasing the rare version of Donkey Kong from the face of the earth. They're like, yeah, you motherfuckers, y'all, I heard y'all like that rare shit. Nah, not over here. I'm over here trying to update my Switch, but then I remembered that I was in the middle of doing something in Metroid Dread and I didn't save, and I'm trying to get to a save point. It's whatever. I'll redo it. So yeah, that is everything. You can tell that this is definitely gonna be the update. It's basically for bridging that gap to the Nintendo Switch 2. This is more than likely the final update for the Switch. And then like the fact that they're ending it on the 20.0, yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, man, it's the end of an era, bro. All right. Anything you want to say before we go to the next topic?
Damn, it's just, yeah, we're like what, 35 days away? 35 days away?
Yep.
Until the start of a new one.
So I just updated my Switch, even though you can barely see that shit, but
Oh yeah, I have those Joy-Cons too.
so you can see the new icons that they added at the bottom. They changed
Yeah,
up.
the game card stuff too, huh?
Yep. And then let me see.
Check.
I want to see the new Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have it too. Oh, is it gonna pick up?
Yeah, it's
Nope.
not showing that shit. It's too bright.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, you can't see that. But yeah, they changed up Donkey Kong. They got rid of the old Donkey Kong. They said fuck Donkey Kong. Rare version. We don't fuck with him no more.
It might show it like that. Yeah, it's not focused enough. It's okay.
So yeah. All right. Let's move on to another quick topic. Shout out to Fortnite. Starting May 2nd. Exclusively in Fortnite, you can watch the first 2 episodes of Star Wars Tales of the Underworld before it even hits Disney Plus on May 4th. So you'll get an early screening that you can watch in Fortnite starting 2 days before it hits Disney Plus. And if you do watch the 2 episodes in Fortnite, you do get a free skin of the main character from the show. So thought that was pretty cool. That synergy between Disney and Fortnite has been going strong. All right. So last quick topic before we get into the big stuff. A PlayStation first party game has been delayed. Lost Soul Aside. No longer coming May 30th. It is now coming August 29th, 2025. And the reason for this is for additional time to polish the game. But yeah, gotta wait 3 more months for Lost Soul Aside, which means that the first party game that PlayStation will be releasing outside of MLB The Show is going to be Death Stranding in June. But yeah, how you feeling about the delay?
It was supposed to come out like in the end of May, right?
Yeah, May 30th.
May 30th. Damn. So, okay. I mean, hey, it's on my list. So if it's gonna mean a better score, then I'm with it. I'm with the delay.
Oh, never mind. Don't delay that shit. Put that shit on May 30th. I forgot. Yeah, nah. Put that shit. I'm about to write them. Like, yeah. I was looking forward to this game on May 30th. Damn. Nah, but you know, delays are never a bad thing. They hurt. But at the end of the day, if it's for a better game, delay that shit. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to this game because it's on PC, and I do not have a PlayStation anymore. So that's the only way I'm going to play it. So yay. Soros, please come to PC day 1. But yeah, this game has looked sick for a long time, so I'm excited to play it whenever it finally comes out. All right, now let's get into some of the bigger topics for the day. Let's talk Cyberpunk 2077. Specifically, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but Nintendo put up a video on their channel talking about, or they had CD Projekt Red talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate. Did you get a chance to catch this?
This was like it was like the devs talking about it, right?
Yep, the creator's voice.
I think yeah. That's what it's called, creator's voice. I think they've put 2 of them so far. Yeah, so I've seen them. I've seen that one.
Yeah, so they showed off direct feed gameplay of the Nintendo Switch 2 version. So how did you feel about the visuals from what they were showing?
Yeah, I thought the game actually looked really good. There's like this point where you see her name is Panem, right?
Yeah.
Or Panem or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get to Cyberpunk, bro. This is one game that I haven't gotten to yet, but like I know a lot of it. But when they showed her, it's like a super close up. I'm assuming it's a cutscene, but
yeah, it's a cutscene.
When they show her, it's like the detail. I was like, this actually looks really good.
Yeah, even
like,
when they show Idris
I'm not
Elba,
even gonna cap. Yeah,
when they show Idris Elba's character, that shit, I was like, oh yeah, they cooking with this shit.
yeah, it looks really good. Looks really good.
Yeah, so I'm about to put that up on the screen. So the first thing when I saw is that, okay, so the first thing that you see when you go to the video, it has a 60 FPS button for the YouTube video. You can watch it in 720p 60 or 1080p 60. So I was like, oh, okay, we're not gonna see the 30 FPS version in this trailer. And the gameplay is obviously like just you can tell it's not 30 FPS. You can tell. Now I can't tell if it's 60, but it's definitely not 30. And it's way smoother than Cyberpunk at 30 FPS. So they haven't confirmed or denied if there's going to be a 60 FPS version, but we know for a fact that there's a 40 FPS using VRR. So I don't know if we're seeing that 40 FPS version in this gameplay, but yeah. So when they're like, the driving is probably the only time it kind of looks muddy because of like they're going fast, and then you can see like the textures are not super detailed when they're driving, but everywhere else it looks really good. Like, it's a night and day difference from The Witcher 3 running on the Nintendo Switch 1. But yeah, everything that they showed looks amazing. But like, I had zero interest in getting Cyberpunk on the Switch 2. Honestly, I played Cyberpunk, like, I've played it 3 times and I just cannot get far in that game. Like, I get through the Johnny, or not Johnny, I forgot his name.
The first guy. I know.
Yeah, your partner. I get through that section. You get Johnny Silverhand inside of you. Blah blah blah. Pause. You get Johnny Silverhand inside of you. That was a good one. So you get all, like, I get through all of that. I get to the open world and like, but like, I always just fall off of this game. But there was one thing there was one thing that got me, bro. And now I'm literally on the fence if I'm gonna get this for the Switch 2. And they said we've added Nintendo Switch 2 specific controls, and you'll be able to swing the katana with your Joy-Con. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm in. It's a wrap. You add motion controls to a game like this, yeah, I'm there, bro. That's like, bro, Red Steel. This is gonna be the Red Steel for me. If they actually have like gyro aiming with the Joy-Con for the gun, and then if you're doing melee attacks, you can swing the Joy. Bro, I'm there day one. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. You add motion controls to any game, and I'm there. I don't know what it is, bro. Like I live and die by the Wii. I live and die by the Kinect. Anything that has that energy, it's automatic for me, bro. I'm broken.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. If I think they showed a little bit of gameplay of it off, right?
Yeah, they did. Right around here when he's fighting the dude with the sword. That's what he was talking about it. So you'll be able to use the, even though you can't really, like, he's just blocking, so you really don't see him swinging it. I'm hoping that it's pretty good, but I don't think, just because they didn't design the game around it, I don't see them being super fluid with the motion controls, but I still want to try it out.
That's hella funny. Okay.
But
yeah,
so they've added gyro controls. They've added like gyro aiming as far as the like just regular gyro aiming for the controller, whether it's the Pro controller, whether it's the Joy-Cons. They have motion controls, mouse controls. Obviously, they confirmed that it's going to be using DLSS, which we didn't see in the first builds in the Switch 2 experiences, but they said that they were going to add it by the end or by the time the game comes out.
Okay.
Gonna have cross saves, which all versions of Cyberpunk have, so that's good. And of course, the entire game plus all the DLC and updates is on the 64 gigabyte cartridge, including Phantom Liberty. So really, I'm just like, I mean, honestly, I should pick up the game just to support, because they are doing everything right.
Yeah, and they're also keeping the game on the cartridge.
Exactly. Like they deserve the support just because of that. Even if I don't, I literally buy the game again and just don't get far in it again, it'll still be worth it just because I'm supporting them actually doing something that all of these other third-party developers are not. But yeah, I'm excited about Cyberpunk on the Switch now, even though I was not at all before. Did the creator's voice get you excited to play Cyberpunk on the Switch?
It did kind of get me to want to buy it, to be honest. Just knowing that there is like you said, those motion controls. It also had me thinking how many games could probably like add motion controls, like even like Hogwarts Legacy. Like that'd be cool if they did something like that.
In the trailer that you can use the text with the Joy-Con.
Oh really?
Yeah, they said
like
in the Switch 2 Direct, they said that. And they actually showed like he was like slamming the enemy, and you can see like you're like they were giving motions for the Joy-Con that you're gonna do that.
Okay, damn, I must have just forgot. Okay, so dude, this makes me want like a Punch Out, bro.
Bro, I really want
both of the Joy-Cons too. Like,
see, our Punch Out was arms though, and everyone slept on arms. Don't.
I got you.
We're not gonna do that. Arms was amazing.
Imagine if you could also like draw your moves with the mouse, maybe. Like you could be like, this is a finisher move or something. I don't know. That'd be, dude. There's so much stuff they could do with it. But yeah, honestly,
I want the third party support to get back to that Wii era, where they were just adding motion controls for the fuck of it. Like Call of Duty on the Wii, bro. I'll never forget playing Call of Duty World at War Online on the Wii, and you could tell who was really about the gyro controls and who was not. Because we would be running people down and missing every shot. Like we both shooting. you just see bullets fly everywhere. But once you learn how to control like how to control the gyro in Call of Duty on the Wii. Like that shit felt so good. Like Red Steel will always be one of the most memorable games for me for the Wii, because switching between the gun and the sword, that shit was always like that's what I've always wanted in a like motion control game. Like
Yeah.
so
sure.
but when we got the Joy-Con 2, or not the 2, but like just the Joy-Con with the Switch, we never got a game. Like I was praying that Ubisoft made a Red Steel 3, because the Wii, like the nunchuck was never accurate. Like the Wiimote was always the most accurate, and that's where the gun was. But when it came to your sword, the nunchuck was like, it wasn't as good. The Joy-Con, you got two like full gyro supporting controllers. I was like, bro, this is the perfect time to get that Red Steel 3, where the gun aiming and the sword combat are gonna be on par with each other. Never got that shit. Count your days, Ubisoft. Mario plus Rabbids was fire though, so I can't really get mad at them. But still, count your days, Ubisoft. All right, let's get into some tragic news.
Okay.
EA, Electronic Arts, they're back at it with another round of layoffs. And this is what they had to say. So the wider cuts largely impacted EA's, or sorry, this isn't what they had to say, but this is from IGN's article. Wider cuts largely impacted EA's experiences team, which includes groups such as EA's fan care team and various others working on customer support and marketing. But roughly 100 jobs impacted at Respawn include individuals in development, publishing, and QA workers on Apex Legends, as well as smaller groups of individuals working on the Jedi team and 2 canceled incubation projects. So let's dig a little deeper. So Respawn did put out their letter. I'm not gonna read all of it, but they did end up saying, we've made the decision to step away from 2 early stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. But the real kicker is, what was the small incubation project that they were working on? And of course, Bloomberg and Jason Schreier came with the information that no one wanted to hear. One of EA's canceled projects was an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read the full article from Insider Gaming, wrapping up what Bloomberg said. So, a new report has revealed that one of EA's canceled projects was an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe. That's according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, whose latest report says that around 300 to 400 roles across EA have been terminated due to the recent restructuring. 100 of those are laid off are from Respawn Entertainment. According to the report, the extraction shooter project was set in the Titanfall universe under the codename R7, but wasn't close to being completed. As for if an extraction shooter in the Titanfall universe would have been successful or not will never be known, but presumably the move was to try and follow a similar path to Apex Legends and its foot into Battle Royale, which is also set in the Titanfall universe. Following the layoffs, Justin Higgs, a spokesperson for the Redwood City, said, as part of our continued focus on our long-term strategic priorities, we've made some select changes within our organization that more effectively aligns teams and allocates resources in service of driving future growth. Surprise report comes following a slew of rumors these past couple of weeks, which said that a Titanfall 3 was in development and scheduled to release in 2026. Video game insider Jeff Grubb refuted the claims and further claimed today that Titanfall 3 is not in development. So yeah,
Damn.
it wasn't Titanfall 3, but even still, an extraction shooter in the Titanfall universe. Now, if it was an extraction shooter that used the Titanfall mechanics, that would be enough for me, honestly. I just like an extraction shooter with that mobility from Titanfall could be pretty sick, not gonna lie. But 300 to 400 jobs lost, 100 from Respawn, which is wild to me. Out of anyone at EA, Respawn. But how you feeling about the layoffs?
Yeah, that fucking sucks, honestly. Cause this is a genre I've never tried. I've never tried the extraction shooter stuff. But as for the layoffs, yeah, that sucks. I mean, it makes sense if they cancel the project, then those people that are working on the project are gonna get laid off. So in that sense, it makes sense. But dang.
Yeah, I basically wonder what the second project was.
I swear to God, if it's if it's like Titanfall something, what if it's the Jedi game? Is that still rumored to be?
So they said that they're allocating their resources to Apex Legends and the Star Wars Jedi.
Okay, for sure, the sequel to it.
Yeah, and then they also have the Star Wars Zero Company game that they just announced.
Yeah, sure. Shit, damn. Okay, so we'll probably get the news of what that other project was sooner or later. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, for me, I mean, like layoffs happen, but it's always crazy when the one successful part of the organization is the one that gets the layoff. Like, I ain't see no layoffs from Motive. I ain't see no layoffs from, I can't even think of any other EA studios. But Respawn has literally been killing it with every release. Now Apex Legends has dropped in numbers, and then I forgot who said it, but someone did say the drop that Apex Legends and FC, the FIFA FC, saw last year was more damaging than Dragon Age flopping.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's probably another big part of the layoffs at Respawn, because they're probably, I'm pretty sure Respawn is one of their biggest teams. But with the decline of Apex, it's like EA's probably put in more money into Apex than they're actually getting out of it now. So I can see why they're taking resources out of Respawn. But at the same time, it's still like, even with Apex declining, it's still one of the biggest things at EA currently. At least until Battlefield finally comes out, and seeing how Battlefield is, like, all these clips that keep on leaking from the labs. Hopefully Battlefield, it looks like Battlefield is back for real this time. Now, I don't think this is the only layoffs that we're gonna see at EA this year. I suspect I don't know why I have this feeling. I just think that the Skate game is not gonna do very well, and we're gonna see a lot of layoffs due to that as well. So I think that's probably, this isn't gonna be the end of it for EA this year. But yeah, man, it just sucks. And Respawn is so talented, and I just want to know what those, I mean, we know about one. I want to know what the other incubation project is. But hopefully that's not the only, hopefully they just don't become the Star Wars Jedi Apex Legends team. Like, I want them to be able to create a bunch of cool things, because at one point Apex Legends was just this weird side project battle royale that they did, and it just blew up into the biggest thing ever for EA.
It got like shadow dropped, didn't it?
Yeah, they shadow dropped it.
Yeah,
because they wanted
literally
people,
like a little,
they didn't want
thing.
to like go through the oh, look at this fake battle, like Fortnite fake blah blah blah, fake PUBG. They just wanted to drop it and then have people play it for themselves, instead of like going through the, you know how people are when they like, when you just like, hey, there's a new game out that's this cool battle royale, go play it. Like, oh wait, let me just check it out, versus like the build up of people just hating on it for no reason, and people making opinions about it before they even give it a shot. And that was the smartest thing that they could have did. So yeah. But yeah, it sucks, like I said. And that Titanfall extraction shooter sounds cool as hell. But they probably saw the way extraction shooters are kind of headed and decided that it's probably not the best to keep working on that. But like I said, I just hope that they don't completely stifle their creativity and Respawn gets a chance to keep making Star Wars Zero companies, or, you know, Titanfall 3 whenever. But that's all I gotta say on that. Anything else you want to add?
The interesting tidbit for me was that the FC game did bad for them. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, I also found that out at the same time. I was like, wait, FC's not even doing good? If FIFA's not doing good, you know EA is in a panic right now.
Yeah, because you think, I mean, it has to be because of the name, right?
I mean, it depends, because this isn't the first year. It's been a few years now, so you would think people would know. I thought
the first year was last year, no?
Nah, it's been FC for like 3 years now.
Oh, wow, okay. Huh. Interesting.
You know what really happened? That rematch trailer came out. People saw rematch and was like, oh yeah, FIFA, it's a wrap for you. FC, we don't need that shit no more. Low clap got our backs. So yeah, EA, y'all should have made FIFA Street, and y'all wouldn't have to worry about this shit. Y'all keep playing these games, bring back EA Sports Big. That's gonna bring y'all money. Tired of y'all. All right, let's talk Ubisoft. Let's talk Assassin's Creed Shadows, because Ubisoft detailed the roadmap to expect for Assassin's Creed Shadows, because Assassin's Creed is really not it's not a one and done game. Ever since Origins came out, they have steadily introduced new content, expansions, DLCs, all types of things. with these games over the course of their life cycle. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is no different. But we are getting new content starting next month. So, actually, I'll send this over to you. Okay. So they put out a video kind of talking about what to expect for the next 2 or 3 months. And the first story drop is going to be a free quest that will be available to all players, and that is the works of Louis Royce. So it's going to be a whole quest line that is going to drop for players early May. And then you're also going to get a codex update and some quality of life improvements. In late May, this is also going to be free. They're going to get their first special collaboration, which they didn't actually announce what it was going to be. And now that they announced it, I'm literally about to wait to go back to Assassin's Creed for this. A parkour update.
Oh.
And in this parkour update, they like saying it is gonna do anything, but they added height gaining back ejects and height gaining side ejects. So what that means is that you will now be able to do like wall to wall climbs to get higher, but also if you're climbing something, you can jump upwards to your side to get some vert as well. So that was pretty cool. You should watch the video so you can actually see it in context. It definitely added some good, like I could already see situations where I was like, you know what, that would, like, playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and you know when you don't think about it, but when I saw that I was like, yeah man, that's super useful. Another thing is the vertical ledge grab. So there are some times where you're trying to run up a wall to grab the ledge above you, but the ledge overhangs so much that you can't run up the wall to grab it. Now you can just jump up and grab the ledge. So that's also going to be a really good quality of life.
Yeah, no, I'm there. I'm literally right there, right when you're describing it. Okay, this is sick, dude.
Yeah, so like that's another thing where you're just like, when you're playing the game, you don't really think about it. You're like, oh, okay, I'll find another way. But now it's like, oh, I can just jump up and grab the ledge now. Like, that's cool as fuck. Okay. Oh, and they're adding some updates to the photo mode where you'll be able to make different faces, make poses, including like some shinobi stuff with Naoe that they were showing off, where she was doing hand signs in the photo mode. So that was pretty cool. So then in June, we'll see another free quest line, new ally for your league. So they'll be adding a new ally, and then you'll get new difficulty settings, including an even harder mode, which they showed one of their developers like testing the new mode, and he like threw down the controller. So yeah, if you didn't think that the expert mode or whatever it was called was hard enough, yeah, I guess you got something, because that expert mode was already fucking hard for me. So
no, that shit is tough. That shit's tough.
They have gameplay immersion options that kind of takes away the outlines of the characters, takes away the like when you're battling and you see like the blue and the red and all of that, takes all of it away so you can just have a like bare experience visually. No like super you know, more of a immersive, authentic kind of combat experience. And then the alarm system that you get when you're in those like castle settings, when you're trying to take over a castle and then someone can alert and then have the alarm, they're adding that to the open world now. So it'll happen everywhere, not just in the castle. So even when you're just exploring, like you see like an open world kind of place that you can take over that someone's guarding, they'll have an alarm system as well. So it's not going to be tied to only the big castles anymore. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. And you have the option to toggle headgear in cutscenes, which I didn't know that was not a thing already, but that's good to see. So then after that, that's when you get into the big stuff. So New Game Plus, which will raise the level cap significantly. There's going to be some community feedback updates that they didn't really go too much over. New story drops, special collaborations, codex updates, animus content, new rewards. But then they're dropping their first expansion, which they didn't really give a time frame. It's just going to be after June. And that's called the Claws of Awaji. And that's going to be a story drop that kind of fleshes out, like they were saying, that it's actually going to go more into the side characters that didn't get as much screen time. They're going to flesh out them a lot more. So I thought that was like a good thing that they acknowledge that they have some side characters that don't get as much screen time, and the fact that they're actually adding content that can flesh them out more. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to see. So yeah, the fact that this is a more detailed roadmap than a lot of multiplayer live service games get is crazy. And the fact that we're getting stuff like literally in a couple of weeks, we'll be getting our first like drops from this game, and it seems like we're gonna be getting something like literally every month from now on. So shout out to like I think I said this last time when we were talking about Skull and Bones. Ubisoft is the king of updating the games, like, and listening to feedback and then implementing exactly what people complained about. But usually when they do, it's already like past, you know, like Star Wars Outlaws, it was kind of a too little too late kind of thing when they did that big update for it, that fixed the AI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, I'm glad that they've like announced this super early for the people who had complaints about this stuff. And most of the stuff is going to be coming in the first, it came out in April, right? Or March. First 4 months or so. Like, I think that's pretty decent.
Came out in March.
But yeah, how you feeling about these updates?
Yeah, that the collaboration one with the parkour, that is definitely gonna be something that I dive back into the game for sure. Like, now that I know that, I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm gonna wait.
That's where I was at.
I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm gonna play like Avowed or something else. That's funny. But yeah, no, that looks sick too, because they're showing like the character jumping from like the buildings, kind of like wall jumping and stuff. So yeah, no, this is cool. Yeah, I'm
literally while I was watching it, I was like, I didn't know I needed that, but now that I've seen it, I need that. Like,
exactly.
So
yeah, no, this is cool, man. Most of it's free too, except for the like expansion,
and then the store stuff. Which, if you want to buy extra stuff in the store, it's up to you.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, we need to praise Ubisoft more for when it comes to their updates, and like targeting the updates at feedback that they get from the community. except in the games that actually need it, like X Defiant, you dumbasses. they're really good about it. So can't not give them their props for that. But that's even though they never talked about this in their roadmap, we got a little roadmap update from Insider Gaming, or I shouldn't say from Insider Gaming, but this is a report from Insider Gaming. And they say it appears that the Assassin's Creed Shadows developers had a multiplayer mode in the works, as mentions of it were found in data mine files. So according to a post on X by modder Slider V2, Assassin's Creed Shadows files feature several mentions of a multiplayer mode. The modder provides 3 instances where either multiplayer or elements of a multiplayer mode were mentioned in the data mine files. Moreover, the developers were seemingly working on a PvP mode, as revealed by mentions of red PvP maps and red PvP gem in the files. For those wondering, codename Red was the internal name of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So Insider Gaming exclusively reported in October 2024 that Assassin's Creed Shadows has a multiplayer / co-op mode in development, which will be released post-launch. The multiplayer aspect of the title, codenamed League, did not have a release date as the main game was postponed at the time. Moreover, what this multiplayer mode entails was not confirmed. It is worth noting that this co-op mode is not related to Assassin's Creed Invictus, which is set to be the next full-fledged multiplayer game of the franchise. So yeah, we talked about the co-op mode that was kind of leaked before Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, like right after that delay happened. But we never heard anything about PvP though.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your thoughts on how you think a PvP Assassin's Creed game would work.
Well, I mean, they kind of can't do what they did before with like like hiding and all that stuff. I mean, I guess they can do that, but I think it would
just thought about it. They don't have that in Assassin's Creed Shadows, do they? Like, I know they brought it back from Mirage, where you can blend in with the crowds and stuff, but there's really no crowds in this game.
Yeah, no, there's not. It's probably just gonna be, I don't know, actually. PvP. I think it's just gonna be like the fighting. They're just gonna be fighting each other. I don't know. What do you think?
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Take the For Honor combat.
Okay.
Assassin's Creedify it. But like now you have the parkour mixed with that like paper rock scissor kind of gameplay from For Honor. So and you're gonna have assassinations, so and you should be able to have like a perfect parry when it comes to assassination. So if someone is about to assassinate you, if you press the button at the right time, you can kind of stop it. But yeah, like you'll have people, you'll just be running and you'll have someone waiting on the roof, like on top of the roof, and then they just drop down on you while you're passing by type shit. But also if it comes down to the one-on-one battle, and hopefully they'll have like classes or something where you have a Yasuke type of build where it's all about the power, or you'll have the light Naoe build where you're doing this like the parkour and everything, and you're on top of buildings. Yeah, and make it objective based, like, or even let's see, what's another good one they could do? Like, what if there was like 2 teams and there's an assassination target that's an NPC. One team is trying to protect that target and the other team is trying to take him out. I don't know how that would work, but it sounds cool on paper. But yeah.
Or it could be like it could be like there's 2 Yasuke's and then there's like 5 ninjas or something like that. You see what I'm saying? It could be like a I forgot what the name of it. It's like what's that one game where it's I think it was called like Evolved or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like
the asynchronous game multiplayer.
Yeah, there you go. It could be something like that, where it's like one strong, super powerful samurai, and then it's gonna be a bunch of little ninjas trying to fight them.
Ninjas have to try to assassinate them when they're not like. But if they get caught, like you're gonna one shot them. Like you go 3 hit combo and they're dead.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it has a lot of potential. I like. They can go so many ways with PvP and Assassin's Creed. It's fun to think about what they're doing. But like I understand why they want to release it after launch, because you know how people get with multiplayer games and single player franchises. Like if they people would have been like, the single player is ruined because they were putting their resources into this dumbass multiplayer game, and like you know how that people. So shout out to them. I hope that this is still coming out, especially the co-op mode. The co-op mode I'm more excited about than anything. But the PvP mode sounds pretty cool as well, if that's still coming out. But yeah. That's all I gotta say on that. I'm excited about where Assassin's Creed will end up by the end of it, because I played Valhalla a little like before Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, and compared to when I played it at launch, there was definitely a lot of quality of life stuff that they fixed. So I liked Assassin's Creed Shadows from the jump, so I'm kind of wondering like what it's gonna be like by the end of it. Yeah, that's where I'm at. All right.
Sure.
Last topic. All right. Did you see that there was a state of play?
State of play?
Yeah.
Like like for a game, or like for just like a PlayStation state of play? Just
a PlayStation
general
state of play, but for a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't see it?
Nah.
It actually premiered right before we started recording, which I forgot about because I was supposed to watch it before the show.
Oh, wait, it's already live?
It already happened. It's
what? Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, so PlayStation announced the state of play yesterday for Borderlands 4.
Oh, that was today.
Yep.
That's right now.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I guess I can just put it on his background while we talk.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it right now too, but I'll put it on super low volume.
So I literally forgot about it until I was putting the topics together, and I was like, oh wait, that's happening right now. And I was like, well,
I'm actually excited for this, man.
But this announcement kind of caused discourse because it's a state of play dedicated to a third party game when we haven't really had a, like, there was Lost Soul aside, there's Death Stranding 2, but neither of them got their own state of play. It's Borderlands 4 instead. So a lot of people, you know, I was out there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I didn't stoke the flames of the console war. I put out my tweet. I was like, PlayStation's so down bad that I said PlayStation's so down bad that they putting out a state of play for a third-party game that they have no exclusivity for, that's coming out the same day as their own multiplayer shooter. They're putting more marketing towards the game that's probably gonna eat sales of Marathon rather than putting that focus on Marathon instead.
Well, they pushed the game forward.
Yeah, and that's when I realized that they literally pushed the game forward like right after that.
But that's still crazy though, that they had the marketing for this game and they have Marathon, and both of them were coming out on the same day. That's almost like a fumble. So that makes sense why they pushed it forward. For sure.
Yeah, they were showing it. I'm literally watching it right now. They're showing it off on PlayStation 4 Pro.
PlayStation 5 Pro.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's because Unreal Engine sucks on PlayStation.
Honestly,
on PlayStation 5.
If I'm gonna get Borderlands 4, it's gonna be on the Switch 2. Like
Switch 2? I was about to say that. I was gonna say I really want to see how this game runs on Switch 2.
That's like the grind, just being able to pick up the Switch and just grind a little bit and put it down at any time.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. Okay, they're talking about grounded tone. I guess we're just live reacting to this.
Yeah, we are pretty much.
You know what? I'm just gonna put it. I'm just gonna put it on with the sound and everything.
Okay.
And we're gonna live react.
Sure. Right, the gameplay looks sick. I'm not even.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe where life is cheap.
That they kind of toned down the
guns are
like
plentiful.
the cell shadedness, but
you play as a vault hunter.
It's a good
badass
mix.
mercenary with powerful abilities called action skills.
With
Today
how
I'm playing
they
as Vex,
mix the
our new
realism
siren.
and the cell shading
She
together.
wields supernatural phase energy to devastating effect. She can use that energy to empower herself, or channel it to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
And because everything's better in co-op, I'm joining as Rafa, a former TDR soldier who wears an experimental exosuit.
Everything's better in co-op.
He can deconstruct an arsenal of weapons, like the razor-sharp arc knives.
These are 2 of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict. For thousands of years, the Timekeeper kept the planet hidden, controlling its inhabitants with bolts, cybernetic implants fused to their spines. Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally crushed by his army of synthetic soldiers known as the Order.
That is until 6 years ago when Elpis showed up. This rogue moon was teleported away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3 by the legendary Vault Hunter Lilith.
I got some lore from
When it reappeared
Borderlands
across the
3,
galaxy,
and I did
it
not
crashed
play
into the
Borderlands
protective
3.
veil around Kairos.
Some of that
The results
stuff
were
is gonna
devastating.
trickle over to Borderlands 4 as
A
far as the story
planet-wide
goes.
cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect order.
Now people all across Kairos have started rising up, some even ripping out their bolts, and chunks of their brain along with it.
Here it comes!
That's the situation our Vault Hunters have crash landed into.
Dark.
A planet ready to explode, and you're the spark. As you explore, you'll meet a cast of incredible characters. Fan favorites return, like Zane and Moxie.
I don't know who's Zane or Moxie.
You'll also meet new friends like Rush.
And as always, Claptrap is along for the ride.
Yeah, Borderlands without Claptrap.
Last but not least is Echo 4. This helpful drone follows you everywhere, hacking Order tech, scanning the environment, and helping guide you to objectives. But enough of all that. Let's get into the game.
Thanks to our improved lobby system, it's easier than ever to join up with your friends on the fly. And with full crossplay at launch, you can play with your friends on any platform.
Nice.
Today, we're venturing into Terminus Range, a frigid, mountainous region.
This is just one of the 4 zones on Kairos that you can seamlessly explore. There's next to no loading time, just endless looting and shooting mayhem.
For our current mission, we need to break into a secret black site located deep in the mountains. One of the Timekeeper's generals, Vile Lichter, has been conducting grotesque experiments on locals. It's up to us to stop it.
All right, let's get moving. Here I'm using Glide, one of our new movement abilities. Along with dash, double jump, climbing, and point grapple, these make getting around more fun and add a ton of utility to combat.
6 minutes and 33 seconds. The Glide.
Okay.
As you traverse,
you're right behind me.
Should I skip like 10?
No, I just stopped for a little bit.
Okay, for sure.
Uncover a vast and beautiful world. And to bring
this looks
Kairos
really
to
good.
life, we've introduced dynamic weather and events, so you constantly have new things to discover.
There's also plenty of local wildlife to contend with.
Looking very Call of
these
Duty-esque.
crash, flying beasts who attack and flocks.
Climbing up stuff. Okay.
Ooh. The hit markers.
Here we've come across a silo, one of several
looking
new
crunchy,
activities
looking
in Borderlands
crunchy.
4.
You'll naturally discover short gameplay experiences like this all across Kairos. There's no need to pick up a mission first. These are auto-granted and tracked on your HUD.
Silos house old, decommissioned order tech that you can hijack for the Crimson Resistance.
With the help of Echo 4, we'll hack into their network and release the communications balloon.
Just open world activity.
Now that we're in charge, we can fast travel to the silo. And as a bonus, it's revealed the approximate location of a vault key fragment. We can collect these fragments to unlock a hidden vault, a high-level dungeon with challenging combat and serious loot.
It feels wrong to
Let's get
say
after
this because Borderlands was the originator. But it's giving me Destiny vibes.
Yeah, it is.
Another nice thing about
crazy,
silos is
bro,
you can
'cause
zip line
Bungie's
up and
making
take off.
Oh, how the tables have turned. Oh man, this is crazy.
And if that's not fast enough for you, you can always pull out your personal vehicle, the Digitrunner. Just hop on, hit boost, and get rolling.
Okay, so you can fucking
You
glide
can
everywhere
customize
now.
the
This
body,
actually
paint
sick,
job,
sick.
and even how it handles.
They got Breath of
And
the Wild
because
in
this
our
is
Borderlands.
You best believe it has guns.
Pretty thick. The vehicle also reminds
As
me
you
of
traverse,
the fucking
you'll encounter
Destiny.
a host of dynamic events.
Yeah, the
From
speeder.
border
Yeah.
patrols to world bosses, there's always something to shoot
Oh, the
and
frame
loot.
rate's kind of tanking right now, low key.
Not my PS5 Pro.
Oh no.
Damn, that means you already know what's gonna happen on any other platform.
All right, we're coming up on an order outpost. Let's see the new movement abilities in action.
Chaining our new traversal abilities together makes combat more dynamic than ever. You can dash in and out of melee attacks, dodge projectiles, or quickly reposition to gain an advantage.
Oh yeah, this is a day one, bro. I'm topping day one. This shit looks fun. It's kind of like giving me Halo 2 a little bit. With the tether, with like the grapple hook kind of stuff. Yeah, Halo Infinite for sure.
Now I know that there's a vault fragment around here somewhere, but we've got a mission to get back to. Let's pull out Echo 4 to show us where to go.
We're meeting up with none other than the Tigra Partali herself, Amara. She's a former vault hunter and exotic pet sitter from Borderlands 3. She came to Kairos in search of Lilith and is now helping us take down the Timekeeper.
Don't you whine at me, Hermes. We'll play in a moment, huh? Ugh, you agree to pet sit for a few weeks, and the next thing you know, you're having full conversations with animals.
You don't use security like that unless you've got something to hide. This must be the path to the black side.
Agreed.
Okay.
But if Lilith is on the other side, I don't mind some property
the sentiment
destruction.
from the state of play.
Ooh, your
seems pretty
specialty.
positive.
Please, be my guest.
Yeah.
Has 500 dislikes with 17,000
good.
likes.
That's really good. I'm gonna start reading the chat
Let's throw
replay.
some light on this black site of his.
This makes you want to play Borderlands 2.
This place is crawling with creeps.
So basically, this is Destiny 3.
Exactly.
Co-op has always been at the heart of Borderlands, and we put a ton of work into making it better than ever. Our improved
Not
lobby
even
was just
45
the start.
FPS.
You can also set your own campaign difficulty independently of the rest of the party. This way, everyone can tune the experience to their liking.
And you don't have to worry about loot ninjas stealing your drops, as loot is always instanced for each player. Plus, if you ever get split up, you can easily fast travel to your friends.
And two-player split screen returns so you can enjoy couch co-op.
Okay, split screen
Regardless
back.
of how you play, we just want you to be able to hang with your buddies and have a great time.
Jim!
What the hell is that?
Bro, the gliding is just giving me the Destiny vibes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone else heard the talking creep, right?
Tim feels like the product of Lictor's twisted mind. Another of his experiments. If he's doing this to creeps, I shudder to think what he's doing to Lilith. We need to get inside. That air vent. Let's check it out.
I thought he was about to smack himself with the door with the grapple hook.
Hermes is really creeped out in here. Not me, obviously. Hermes.
Now that we're in the black site, let's take a moment to talk about loot. In Borderlands 4, each piece of
like
gear
the
comes
menu.
from one of 8 manufacturers with their own characteristics and trademarks. There's Jacobs, with crit-friendly black powder weapons, the elemental expertise of Maliwan, Vladoff, who solve lower accuracy with more bullets, the toss to reload Tedior, or Torg with explosions! We also have 3 new ones. The Order with powerful charge and release blasts, fully auto rippers, and the reliable, easy-to-use Daedalus, which can use multiple ammo types.
But that's just the start. We've introduced an all-new licensed parts system. This allows for behaviors and abilities from multiple
that's
manufacturers to spawn in a single weapon. For instance, this flat-off assault rifle features a Torg mag, Hyperion shield, and a Maliwan elemental switch, meaning it shoots fast and explodes things. The higher the
Okay,
rarity,
that's
the more
fucking
parts that can randomly spawn, creating wilder and
And
wilder.
you have to get rarer weapons.
And that's
to get
before
more
even
custom
getting into
parts.
alt-fire modes, underbarrels,
Bro.
and elemental damage.
Not the perfect dark laptop gun,
The
but it actually
possibilities are
runs.
truly endless.
Oh, that's sick.
To support playing with your favorite manufacturer, we've added enhancements.
Whoa.
This new type of
is
gear replaces
crazy.
artifacts and provides bonuses to specific manufacturers. Take my current enhancement. It adds a kill bonus to all guns with Daedalus parts, along with more reload speed and critical damage. This lets you min-max your build around your favorite manufacturer, immediately
they've
turning
been
just
cooking.
okay guns into amazing weapons.
Finally, we've heard your feedback, and we've overhauled our drop rates and loot across the game. We've worked hard to make sure all our gear feels better than ever, while also making rarity matter again. This makes for our most satisfying loot chase ever. And at the top of everything are legendaries. These have always had unique effects that you won't find on any other piece of gear. But in Borderlands 3, they drop too often. This not only devalued legendaries, it made everything feel less valuable. In our new system, not only do all guns feel great, but now legendaries will truly be special events. We've added the magic back to our loot chase, and we know you'll love grinding all that great gear on Kairos.
But let's get back to combat so I can show you my favorite thing, Ordnance. This is the new gear slot for grenades and heavy weapons like rocket launchers.
This is literally Destiny, a special slot for
Instead of
the
taking up a
big
gun slot and ammo, Ordnance now has cooldown timers. No more saving the big guns for boss fights. Now you can blow stuff up as often as you want.
Before we go further, let's talk a little bit about action skills. Every Vault Hunter has a set of 3 unique action skills. These are class-defining abilities with devastating effects. Up until now, I'd been using Incarnate to deliver powerful phase blasts. But let's switch it up to Phase Familiar and pull out Trouble. As you can see, each action skill has its own branching skill tree, giving you more build freedom than ever before. On top of passive skills, you can further customize action skills with augments and capstones.
I think your counter
These are socketed enhancements that add new behaviors and functions to your action skill.
Okay, I think I
Different
was
builds
thinking about
completely
it,
change how
but
combat
maybe I
plays out,
didn't. I
resulting
hope I
in near
didn't after
endless
seeing
freedom
this.
to experiment. You can swap unlock augments or capstones on the fly, or completely
here, I can check.
respec your skill trees at hubs around Kairos.
This gives us a chance to talk about traits. Each Vault Hunter has a unique passive ability called a trait. For Vex, her action skills attune to the element of her equipped weapon.
Nah, Ace counterpicked Borderlands.
So by swapping
4.
guns, I can change Trouble's damage
You
from kinetic to
counterpick,
shock, fire, or any other
DRZ Day
elemental
and
type.
Legends Law.
And also, you can pet the
Oh,
cat.
and Wu Chang. Oh wait, we have 4
Dead end.
counterpicks?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
is
get 2
it?
at the start and 2
Let's
more
see where
to
this
add.
vent takes us. Gods. Are those test tubes?
I'm down. But thankfully, our fight for your life mechanic makes a return. Of course, I could have avoided it in the first place if I had just used my ref kit. This new piece of gear provides health and other buffs, like temporarily boosting my elemental damage, rate of fire, or movement speed.
I'm almost afraid to ask what's in the tube.
Oh, look at these guys. Are those crystals growing out of them?
By the way, if you're looking to experience the story again or just grind for loot, we've added full mission and boss replay. That's right,
Okay,
no more
mission and
save
boss
loading to
replay.
run bosses. Now you can return to the arena and use Moxie's big encore machine to spawn another run.
But we'll talk more about endgame later. For now, let's jump ahead and show you something truly badass. In Borderlands 4, our bosses are bigger and better than ever, putting all your new skills, gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
They put some Returnal in this bitch?
Whoa, 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 spoilers! That's enough of that for now. But we look forward to showing you much more this June at our first hands-on gameplay event.
And from everyone at Gearbox, thank you for joining us.
That hands-on gameplay event better have that Switch 2 gameplay. Nice. Okay.
Hey. Someone cooked here. Shout out to Gearbox. I counted them out too early. I said it was over for them. They've proven me wrong. Because these motherfuckers got something with that one. Like, I didn't play Borderlands 3, but I've heard what people have said about Borderlands 3, and it seems like they listened to all the feedback that they got from that game and implemented it into Borderlands 4. Like, they really put thought into why people didn't jive with Borderlands 3, and they overhauled everything.
Yeah, even down to the story elements too. Absolutely.
I'm upset because the game wasn't on my list. Not my fantasy critic list, but list of games that I plan on playing this year.
Yeah.
But that shit kind of got me hyped. Yeah, that was pretty. That was a really good day to play, like a really good presentation for the game.
For the game, yeah.
They showcased everything that they showcased was like a plus. It always, like, everything that they showed, besides like the frame rate, hopefully they get that kind of cleaned up before launch. They still have a lot of time, so it's always a chance. But yeah, the game looks really good. Like, bringing me back to the Borderlands 2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a fun kind of impromptu live reaction that we just did.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to say on Borderlands 4 before we wrap up the show?
Other than, yeah, I've been there day one for every Borderlands game except for one. So I was there day one for 2. I was there day one for pre-sequel. I was there day one for 3. Actually, and Wonderlands. I bought that like months later. But I ended up platinuming Wonderlands too, so I've pretty much played every single Borderlands game and most, if not all, the DLCs that they've put out. So I'm there, man. I'm there. I'm in there, dog. Tuck tuck. Nah.
Yeah, I haven't played since Borderlands 2. So, and even I only played Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and by Borderlands 2 I already felt like I was just replaying the same game, and I was already kind of done with the formula. So I it's been a while since I've played like a big looter shooter, so
Yeah.
I think it's about time to get back into Borderlands. Might be the best time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. That is it. That is all we have for you guys today. Thank you all for tuning in. All the people leaving comments in the chat. We do appreciate your support. Make sure you guys hit that like because we love you guys and it helps us grow this channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated for when Dual-Wield premieres. So Bagels, as always, appreciate you for pulling up, talking video games with me. Where can we find you? What you got going on?
Of course. So I haven't been streaming that much, but y'all can find me on twitch.tv/Subagels. Here, of course. Lognet, of course. Instagram I'm at Subeg Dual-Wield. TikTok I'm at Avatar Subeg, and what am I missing here? X Subeg Dual-Wield. And am I missing another one? Oh, YouTube Subagels. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. As for myself, you can find me on Twitter at PastaFeet, F3ET. Find me on twitch.tv/Don Solo, SOLOW. Might be streaming Powerborn with the homies one of these nights.
I need to play it. I need to play that too, for sure.
And
no achievements, right?
Let me check. Not that I can see.
Nah. Uh,
So yeah, and
it's okay.
then you can also find me right here on YouTube, Don Otaku, where not only do we do the Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast, every Thursday, Project Entitled Gaming Podcast every Saturday live with the
Yes,
day
sir.
ones. Last week we did a tier list for the greatest multiplayer shooters of all time. And I split it into its own video. So check that one out. It was hilarious. Y'all can see that I was on the right side of history, and they were forcing me into making some bad decisions. But yeah, it was a great time. Y'all should check out that video. But yeah, other than that, it's gonna be the same old. As far as the games that I'm playing. So yeah.
Okay.
And of course, check me out on Lognet, where I am like, my articles are basically like picking up the entire recent features. But yeah, that is everything. Nova Drift review should be coming very soon, so check that out on Lognet
sure.
as well.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man. Any final words for the people?
Any final words? Go check out our pro achievements and against achievements articles for sure. That was fun to do. And yeah, for sure. Check out Lognet. Hella stuff on there.
Yep. And also, go cook something. Learn how to cook if you don't know how to cook. I feel like there's too many people who don't know how to cook, which is weird. And then they be out here talking about, I never learned how to cook because my parents didn't cook. Well, you learn how to suck dick, and your parents ain't teach you how to suck dick. So
This guy.
No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm hella weak.
But with that, let's get out of here. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy your week, weekend, month, year, life, all that. Bye-bye.
Peace.